Sorry we're a little bit late. It turns out that I spent minutes looking for something that didn't exist. How was I supposed to know there wasn't a Dwarf Fortress RPG book? I thought that's what we were
Your
covering. The name's Adam.
I was about I was about to say your dignity. Is that what you lost? Didn't know it existed.
I haven't had dignity in years, that's fine.
No, Biggie, it's
Well,
not. It's not dignity.
yeah,
Instead, it is, as I am sit here to present, Realm of Chaos: Slaves to Darkness. What is arguably the first source book on Warhammer's Chaos.
And also, this is back when Games Workshop wasn't quite as completely greedy. As in, they didn't think to split the book via Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. But they were greedy enough to split it in half based on the Chaos Gods.
You can tell this is also old G-dubs too, because you can clearly see the design aspect of having the Coronate faction be represented by their dog-faced demons. Hi, how are you doing, y'all? My name's Big Changer of Ways. How you doing?
That's how they've always been.
There's always
always
been a
had the
wolf
dog face.
element to them, yeah.
It's been less overt in recent years, though.
It's the
admittedly.
classic kind of goofy art. I love this 80s kind of watercolor art.
And
you can also tell this is early Warhammer because, oh god, Slanesh.
And no recognizable design. Well, actually, no. No cohesion, but there is recognizable design.
By the way, I really like on the cover, I love the faceless guy there that's made out of metal. That's really neat.
Can I be a bitch for 2 seconds?
Sure.
Can I already get on my blabber chair when it comes to new G-dubs designs? Where I can understand like the orderly and like everything kind of looks the samey for like the Imperium side, but one of the cool things about old Chaos art was like there could be like 5 billion different ways those fuckers could look, and now unfortunately because model variation is expensive, you get like 5 different templates you get to use for your Chaos Space Marines now,
and they're not intermixable really.
Well, that's the contrast between buying one model, making one model, and making a pack of 20 of them.
I don't think G-dubs allows for kick bashing officially, if I remember correctly.
No, they still do.
They do. They used to not to a degree, but that was like under the previous CEO. If I remember right, the previous CEO was very insistent that it had to all be stuff that they made.
Who very nearly destroyed the company.
So if I mix bolt action items on my Imperial Guard armor, you're telling me G-dubs won't kill me?
Well,
okay,
you couldn't do official tournaments. You couldn't do official tournaments.
They do allow some 3D printing.
But yeah, this is going to be a hefty frickin' book, especially since this is going to be part 1. We'll cover Nurgle and Tzeentch later, sometime in November, probably.
But
or maybe later. We might wait until next year. Hell if I know. We could wait until September to make it 9.
As an official scholar of Tzeentch himself, I will be there for the cataloging of that. Now, if I remember correctly, doesn't this split 40k and fantasy into 2 books?
No, yes and no.
Well,
it is part of the same book.
So this book here, it's a source book for both Warhammer Fantasy Battles, Warhammer 40,000, and Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game.
Because this is really, that's that early. This is back when they weren't sure if they were doing minis for Warhammer Fantasy or not. Well, they were doing minis, but they weren't sure if they wanted to commit to an RPG.
And of course, the book by Brian Ansell, rest in peace, Mike Brunton, Simon Forrest, covered by John Sibek, illustrators such as Ian Miller and John Blanche. We got Blanche in this.
We got competent people working on this.
Do any of these fucking people even work at the company today?
No.
Dude, it's been 40. This was made in 1988.
Some of them are dead.
40
Some
years.
of them were unemployed decades ago.
Like, most of these people are retired now. But I will have to say, if you look at some of the newer artwork, especially Codex covers, great.
And before we get into the book proper, let me just do a little bit of something, because I just want to make sure. Okay, we're good. I had a sneaking suspicion, a Tzeentchian plot, that I accidentally turned off your guys' sound. I just wanted to make sure.
Good.
So, So we get here in
Oh,
this
wait, no,
book.
there is one more thing. The Grey Knights actually have an entire segment, so they're older than you
Yeah,
think.
Grey Knights are here. And pretty much, if you look at this and you've looked at our older reviews of like the Black Crusade stuff or anything involving chaos, so much of this stuff pops up again and again and again. Names of spells, characters, just descriptions. The fact that there is a chaos mutation table.
Actually, the Chaos Mutation table has not really changed at all. A lot of the stuff that was written here has only been repurposed elsewhere because, hey, if you wrote fire before, why do you need to write fire again?
Well, it's the certain names, certain stats, and everything. It's to the point where I would argue that we didn't get a really massive exploration of chaos until, and I know it's going to piss you off, Age of Sigmar.
The mutation table is
I
interesting to
disagree, but
mention too
that's just
because
me.
the mutation table is interesting to note too because oh god, this is like god, how many years ago was this removed from Rogue Trader?
Uh,
2.
it's not even that far
Only two
removed.
years.
It's
This
literally
is this
Rogue
is for
Trader's
Rogue
era.
Trader. This is the first edition.
Yeah, so it should really be said too, like the design philosophy and how the game is played back then is really different. Where like, if I remember correctly, I could be pulling this out of my ass, but it's much more lower model count in the earlier editions, and they're more. It's like
It's
it's
more of a
basically
role-playing game.
you like. Yeah, it's more like you're managing like your own D&D team basically, but in
Yeah.
space.
Kinda, yeah, kinda nah. First
But
edition, it had a rough setting. They wanted to make it more like Mordheim, or Necromunda, where it was a localized group that you ran under a captain. Also, this is during the edition where Eldar and humans could interbreed, and the Hrud were actually supposed to be space Skavens. They retconned that very early on.
but an interesting retcon they have. So what we're seeing right here is a story about this guy Inquisitor Thrax, who had recently uh, uh, gone through an extermination of the Ray Slayers chapter after they were connected to chaos somehow.
It sounds like you
Then
said the race players.
uh, and then activating a device that turns him into a spawn. Now, for those of you who
It's
have
just all chaos
played,
artifacts.
Warhammer 40k Space Marine, Inquisitor Thrax is the Inquisitor that takes away our main character, Titus.
Yeah, this is his fate.
They retcon Titus to be, or Titus's captor to be this guy, which then allows people to investigate what he was doing. Turns out this Inquisitor hated Astartes and had imprisoned and put them in stasis, and
It's to the
then
point where the Grey
yeah,
Slayers probably were not fully corrupted. Maybe the leaders were. Or maybe what
yeah.
they had was they actually were trying to banish it or imprison it, because not all Space Marines, whenever they run into weird chaos artifacts, fall to that shit.
But still,
But
it just
his
it
destiny
just
is to fuck with it and then turn into this thing.
and then it ends up freeing Titus, and then we get to see the start of the second Space Marine game. But it's just so interesting that I guess Games Workshop has enough of a memory of their products that they are looking for an Inquisitor, and they go to this guy.
Why are you insistent that it's
Oh,
not
how
just a
hard!
member berry? Companies care way
I'm
less
with
than you
Adam
think
on
they
this.
do.
I'm with Adam on this. How hard is it to just hit Control F on a fucking archive thing? Also,
They
while we're at
literally
it
have
too, this is
Here's what I bet they did. They went to Lexicanum, and they looked up, okay, what are some named Inquisitors that we can just pull out of our ass?
Yeah, no, probably.
Although, in fairness,
hold on.
they did reference. Oh wait, no, that's Fantasy Flight that would reference stories that were told from their games.
Yeah, no, that and
It should be mentioned. Space Marine 2 was mentioned, so I'm legally obliged to say I fucking hate the Primaris. Okay, continue.
It's an L. It's an L idea, and it's annoying that they can't get rid of it. But that's just because too many people bought the models.
what are you gonna do?
There's a lot of things you could do, but it's
We
not
could
going to
always
be
go back
easy.
to playing this game.
Correct.
So, this book again contains everything about for fantasy battles for 40k for role playing game.
The only thing it's
Uh,
missing is there's actually a 2000s era setting that was around during this time, but that was more of a board game.
Death Race.
Death Race, and there was also the one where you have essentially Doom Guy but with a chainsaw arm. It was like the unholy love child of Doom Guy and Ash Williams.
Ah, yeah.
But yeah, we enter the Chaos Wastes, and only when the world is wholly a realm of chaos, that's the thing they're building for. So what does this book contain? It's only one half of 2 volumes that make up Realm of Chaos, the supplement for Warhammer Range of Games. This one covers Slaanesh and it covers Khorne. Basically, what they thought was this thing's almost 300 pages. If we included Tzeentch and Nurgle, it would be a door stopper, and they did not want to do that. Also, more money.
Yes.
But more importantly, this has actually been reprinted on limited times, and I know for a fact that the last reprinting I think was about 10 years ago, and you can only get
No,
it from Warhammer World.
it was very recent.
Fun
I think they still sell it.
Yeah, but it's like
Probably.
a Warhammer
Fun
World thing. You
fact.
have to go to their stores proper to do it.
Fun fact, I actually saw a listing of this on eBay once. Guess how much?
Oh yeah, these things are overpriced as shit and back. I linked to the, if you're curious, in the
500
description, I have linked to eBay copies, which can be cheaper. But I'm not gonna complain if you find it in the dumpster, Capitano.
So we should begin though with the spread of chaos.
Which depends.
Talking of-
It depends on the setting, but the principles are the same.
Well, we start with the old Slann, and they travel their interdimensional gateways, and then those gateways erupt on Warhammer World, causing corruption of the human race and the other races, creating both the gods of law and the gods of chaos.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Oh,
Chaos
yeah.
wasn't supposed to be the only big bads. They were supposed to be the law gods, but what happened very early on was they had nothing. They could, for whatever reason,
So,
they never did anything with them.
not as an army. They are occasionally referenced. They were more in the RPG. The one that's mostly referenced is Solcon. I believe he is still referenced in Warhammer Fantasy today.
Technically, no. The only times they really came about as references is they used to be the patrons of the witch hunters.
Was this supposed to be a Shimigami
Very
Tensei
early
law
on.
versus order thing where it's like
A D&D
was
thing,
this
probably.
supposed to be
No,
like
no,
Shimigami
no.
Tensei?
He's actually right. It was supposed to be that because the law gods, if they won, would have also been equally bad.
Because remember, they're from the warp.
Basically, the concept of Malleus's cosmology is it's very similar to Dragonlance in that if an axis of force wins, that's bad. In Kryn, aka Dragonlance, if good guys win, that's bad. If bad guys win, that's bad. That's why balance
what's
and
gonna happen? What's the worst
neutrality
that's
is
gonna
important.
happen?
There is the flood of light
What's the
that
worst that's
almost
gonna
ended the
happen to
world.
God?
Well, remember, there's
That's
technically
tough
one
to
god
say.
of there is a god of there would be a chaos god of or a law of stasis. And we also know the emperor might be a god. And look how that's turning out for the Imperium.
I don't count the
Well, that's what I was about to
Horus
say.
Heresy books. That's a fictive suicide, the scales of which I have
No, that's
interest
in this
reading.
book. That's in this book.
Barely, because that's before they explained everything.
So, Chaos ensnares, corrupts, and has control primarily in the areas where the pole was.
Because that's where the
So,
big gates that the old ones kind of worked with were.
The North and the South Pole. Why they haven't made mutated penguin armies is a failure on Games Workshop's part.
They forget about the Antarctica
Because
at
they're
all.
cowards.
No, they forget about it because Antarctica is so devoid of life when it fell that pure demons just kind of roam the land to the point where they have become a breeding population and almost become real flesh. Like, that's just
Also,
how fucked Antarctica is in the
Angel.
setting.
No. The god you're thinking of is Malice. Chaos God of Anarchy.
Well, originally it was Malal, but then they lost
Malal,
the rights
yeah.
because they had a big fucky wucky similar to how Ken Panders was able to destroy the Archie comics for Sonic.
From what I understand too, it wasn't even like a case like the artist came knocking. Like nobody knew that was the problem. They didn't know if it was an issue or not. From what I
And then they
understand.
rebranded it as Malice. That didn't go anywhere, so they just dropped it. There's also the God of Unbelief known as Nikoho, and there's a couple of other ones.
Adam, I have to. Adam, I have to correct you. Unfortunately, what if I told you the Sons of Malice, the only motherfuckers that worship that Chaos God, actually showed up in Battlefield Gothic 2 as an army you can play as?
I get the feeling that was just due to accidental luck than anything else.
No, the Sons of Malice have been referenced.
I'm aware. It's just I feel like that's more of a fan reference, like they managed to slip it in, if you get what I mean.
No, like actually, like you see his fucking portrait too, and they have his colors. You don't see the symbol, but you see the colors. God damn it!
The
I mean, that's
Sons of
because
Malice.
that's what they paint themselves like. Yeah, no shit.
No, they've been referenced in other short stories.
All right, we're
I'm
getting
surprised
into
they're
the weeds
committing
of
to
this. We're getting
this.
into the weeds.
No,
We're getting into
I'm
the
just
weeds. We got
surprised
this
that.
book.
No, I'm surprised in the company they care that much, given that they can't even be arsed to get the rights to the name.
Look, G Dubs has disappointed me many times, but there are at least people that actually give a shit. So that is nice.
Well, I mean, they
But-
may or
but-
may
but-
not be attempting to commit fictive suicide with their Space Marine choices,
So
but we'll see.
and
So
never
so hold on.
again.
There were also minor chaos gods: Ansel, Morkok, and Frazatar. Brian Ansel, Michael Moorcock, and Franz Frazada.
Which makes sense because,
Boo!
well, Frank Frazetta literally does a lot of metal art covers, and that was their
Yeah,
main
by putting
inspiration.
this, we're rumored to praise them by putting spikes on their armor.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
Listen,
sense. That does make
there's
sense.
a lot of minor gods around there.
Also,
But
Moorcock, that's where they got the symbol from. I'm surprised he hasn't
yes,
tried to sue them.
so the Chaos Pantheon itself, there is an idea that, well, there's infinite gods that struggle for each other, that there's a singular one, but there are at least known 4 that could be considered the strongest. The Blood God Korn, the Lord of Pleasure Slanesh, Nurgle the Plague God, and Tzeentch the Changer
And the
of
rat
Warriors.
god.
That's before the Rat God.
There's the Rat God, yeah.
This is before the Skaven really came about as an idea.
There's so many. Again, as we said, Ansel, Morkok, Frazatar, Malice, Vashtor. I'm looking on Lexicanum. They're saying Mordegon, the Dark King, Pater Mutatis, Hashut,
Yep,
the
Hashut,
Horned
obviously.
Rat.
An invisible god, you say? Yeah, there's a lot of chaos gods. Yeah. It's just they really only talk about the 4 because it's easier to get models for them.
Yeah, arguably Gork of Mork. There's a rumored god that was in control of sorcery before Tzeentch took its place.
In fairness,
it's
a lot
infinite.
of this. In fairness, a lot of this.
Chaos.
Well, no. Let's be fair. It's because they borrowed heavily from Glorantha. And chaos, while destructive, and it is destructive, it is innately destructive and damaging to the world. Becoming a god kind of requires a little bit of it. You have to be illuminated to be able to use it. It's a really great way to change the rules of the world setting.
So, to the point where, taking a look at when they describe the god, we get their general description, symbol, worship, friends and enemies, cult requirements and tenets, and spell use. Oh, they ripped this off from RuneQuest.
Yes, they did. I would love to go into detail on Slanesh, but early Slanesh had a bad habit of toplessness. That's very quickly skipping through that page.
So, well, to read through this.
Thank you.
Slanesh, turns out, is a bisexual humanoid, male on the left side and female on the right.
Which is a common depiction of Hermaphroditos, which was an actual Greek deity whose whole thing was this.
Worship. Slanesh is not a god of warriors, and his worship is strongest in the cities. Again, something that won't be changed until recently. Yeah. But of course, the pleasure thing, saying Slanesh worship is of great orgies of every vice and perversity.
Fun fact, this actually was one of the reasons why Bretonnia, originally in early editions of Warhammer Fantasy, had severe problems with its nobilities tending to be part of Slanesh cults. Because it was also very easy to make Slanesh an aspect of the Lady in the Lake.
Yep. All are welcome in Slanesh's cult, as long as they pursue pleasure and a willingness to explore every vice and perversion to this end. But then we go to Khorne.
Which I can show, because Khorne is the opposite, as in his devotees are so Sigmar grindset, they will actually castrate themselves to not even think about it.
The Huntsman of Souls.
You call them the alpha male grind set. Are they Sigmas?
I said Sigma male
grind
set for a reason.
However, in addition to his human followers, he is worshipped by a number of Chaos Dwarves. This is before Dwarf lore is really established.
I think
fanatics.
Yes, if you're wondering, the Red Goblins, I believe, used to worship him.
Yeah. And half orcs.
That was a thing.
Yes, apparently someone fucked an orc.
This was before orcs were retconned to be fungal creatures.
Well, to be fair too, I mean, shit. Like the only way people knew how to do fantasy back in the day in this era was just to rip off D&D. And half orcs were on that thing. Everybody likes playing half orcs.
This was
Which in turn
basically
meant
what happened was they lost the rights to Glorantha, as Nicholas Lewis mentioned. They originally did have the rights to make Glorantha minis. In fact, they made a lot of modules for other games. They lost the rights, so they reconverted them into their own game. And one of the ideas they had is why not make D&D but done to 110% compared to things like Absolute Martian Manhunter or Absolute Batman for the ideas.
I mean, shit,
So-
man. If tieflings were a thing back then, as they are now of today, we would have seen
Oh.
half demons in this fucking setting.
So, I like the cult requirements for Khorne is simple: blood and more blood. The use of spells or similar powers to cause death and destruction is abhorrent to him. The only way to gain favor with him is by killing, enemies or friends. All the dead are equal in the eyes of Khorne.
Corn cares not from whence the blood flows.
And then we get to what is a demon or a daemon? Is the
No,
British
there
spelling.
is an allowance for spell usage, but only when it's used on weaponry.
To make weapons,
Correct.
essentially. Now, there were previous talks of daemons in Warhammer stuff. I looked up this bestiary at one point. It turns out Balrogs are actually from Chaos.
I'm not
Yep.
surprised.
Also, Angel Shorfs. This is different from the Chaos Dwarves that we know of today. This
Chaos
is literally
Dwarves, no, the Dowizar did exist, but
Yeah.
their codification wasn't clear at this point.
this is the idea. Basically, is any species can go to Chaos.
And I'm not
That's
kidding.
right, yeah,
That's where
yeah,
Red
orcs,
Goblins
yeah.
came about.
Red Goblins
Now, if
are.
I ever-
We had Tusk Rider models for Glorantha, and well, we got to do something with them.
They were eventually retconned into becoming hobgoblins, if I recall.
Now, if I
So
remember correctly too, unless I'm going crazy, didn't you just say Gork and Mork were chaos gods as well?
Originally,
they
yes.
could be because they have an entity in the warp. The same thing with the greater good of the Tau. That is also a possible warp entity.
Well, the Tau haven't hit stores yet, so you're getting a hold of yourself there, little man.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
this is back when it was still called Rogue Trader, so this isn't even second edition 40k.
Yeah,
Nope.
So-
They call it 40k.
they do, but the title of the first book was Rogue Trader. They
Yes,
did
it was.
they added that so it didn't get confused with Rogue Trooper.
This is 88, if I remember correctly, that this was
Yeah.
published.
Yes.
So they give us the types of demons: greater, lesser, the servants and creatures, daemon princes, the demonic familiars, and the independent demons, of which have just literally become just the Furies.
By the way, the best part about all of the daemons you will see, I think they were generated via the mutations table, so that's why they're so unique looking. Because remember,
They're pretty nice.
this was back
Yeah.
when they actually were able to be creative, and this is before they demanded you pay for everything. I mean, they did still demand it, but you know what I mean. They were less egregious about it.
And
Well,
we
I'll
get
say this: you could get a model for by the dollars back then, man. I could get like a fucking Chaos Champion for like $1.
Warning, a
And
lot
yeah,
of those
the
were made
prices-
with lead alloys.
they were made with lead, and holy shit, are they flat as fuck.
Not only that, but they had a
Oh, yeah,
habit
they're
of
made out of
being
lead.
more easily breakable than some of the resin casts,
Pewter. A lot of them were also made out of pewter.
which is also
So-
poisonous if you don't handle it right.
Interesting here, slain demons, and I think this is where we get the idea of if you kill one, they remain in the warp for 1,000 years and a day. Obviously, I'm going to consider what is 1,000 years and a day in the warp.
It depends. It
Answer.
can be longer than you
Tuesday.
think. It can be longer than
Tuesday.
you think, or actually before you killed him.
Yes.
You could
Okay.
actually have a demon appear before you 3 weeks
That-
before you defeat it, screaming, "I will avenge my death upon your hands." And then because of that, it leads to their death 3 weeks later.
So, an interesting thing here: daemons are all invulnerable to normal weapons.
Oh,
The
by the
only
way,
thing that can
look
harm
at this xenomorph copy motherfucker right here with the wings. I see you, HR Giger guy. I see you.
No, he's got
Look,
two
if
heads.
Look, if it's good enough for territory I'm the rip off, it's good enough for other people to rip off. All
I mean,
right.
it's HR Giger stuff. I'm just making fun.
Yeah. So, daemons can only be harmed by magic weapons, which means, hey, all of your regular troops can't do shit to them. There is a reason why a pack of 6 Daemonettes costs 600 points.
They can, however, be affected by the undead or other ethereal creatures.
Subject to instability.
Well, that's magic.
Psychology can only affect them, like fear and terror, if they are seeing a demon greater than them. They instantly cast spells without expending magic points.
Also,
They
they
get
determine
chaos
how.
attributes.
They also tell you what model of base they should be on.
Oh, a greater demon's on a 40 by 40.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Incest.
not on that anymore. Oh, they're not.
Also, chaos
Yeah, no, I don't know.
attributes, which are random. Sorry about that, Biggs.
You sometimes, yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, sometimes be like, you look up for Warhammer deals, you'll see the old ass models of the greater demons, man. And boy, God, they're probably smaller than a Rhino transport of today. Practically, it's
They are.
quite amusing to see.
Oh, they are.
What,
In
what-
fact, actually, as we go through here, it turns out a Land Raider is bigger than a Greater Demon of Khorne.
They were. They were originally. Another funny goof is that you should see what the Daemon engines used to look like.
I'm aware what the penetrator was.
You mentioned, oh, well, where's all the male bits? It went into the Daemon engines. That's where they all went.
But now we get to the great thing, which is, how do you make a Daemon name?
Which I
So you
think
see-
we did cover in
Yeah.
our coverage of Black Crusade, but this is where it came from.
Yes. And for instance, if you have a name of a greater demon, it is 1d6 or 2d6 times the Chaos God's number in terms of the amount of elements you have. So,
Which
for
means
instance,
there's a lot of syllables.
because it's it's a true name. So you could have a greater demon be Gerharlian or Ruhlien. Or instead,
Yeah.
you have their use names, such as Blight Loose Putrid Sting Witheraxe.
Although this can lead to some very horrible names like Suck Dog the Gibbernaw.
Dog.
Or slobber,
Ghost,
slobber, slobber, slobber. The slobber, slobber.
You could get that
Yeah.
result. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think they
I
still
think the
use
worst
this.
one would be
No,
the.
I gotta say, I think they still use this table to generate names, copyrightable names for Warhammer models.
Yes, they do.
It could also be buttock 4 times. Buttock, buttock, the buttock, buttock.
Room throb. Jesus Christ.
You can just call me Buttock.
Buttock bowel, the bed warp. That is a. Oh god, fat buttock.
Yeah, you can get
Carnal,
fat buttock.
wait. Grope buttock.
You can get that too.
Rope buttock. Nah, buttock.
Now you can see why kids were really drawn to this originally.
I mean, you included buttock in it. What are you expecting? You could also be buttock maim the tear twist or something like that. It's just
What would have been great is if you could have had an option, just be like, what is it? I don't know, Canker Skull the Titty Twister.
There you go.
yeah.
And now we go into the descriptions of the Servants of Khorne.
Oh, before we do, Squirrel Killer is begging for this table to be turned into a Foundry model if it hasn't happened yet. It probably has a Foundry model.
I could probably program that if I get some time.
Don't worry, Tech will do it. He's much more competent at Foundry than I am, as in he actually knows how to work its guts a bit.
So,
I mean, it's
The
just
blood-
a table draw for a program. It's not that hard.
Yep. the Bloodthirster stands as tall as a man and are humanoid with a ranky muscular build, faces like horned dogs, bestial legs ending in clawed hooves, and large tough membranous wings.
Yeah,
They wield great
Bloodthirsters used to
axes.
look more dog-like. They have changed these quite
They still
considerably.
do. They still. I would argue this. That description here is fundamentally the same description you can give for the model today.
The art, though, emphasizes the dog nature, though. It's comparable to how, if you've ever seen, have you ever seen a first edition Kobold for D&D?
Oh, God.
Man.
They're far more dog-like than they become.
They look wonky.
Not as
Do
bad
you
as the
think?
Beholder art, which I think is a fantastic shitpost.
Do you think them
Beholder
being
art-
more dog-like? And no, I'm not boarding this joke. I can't do it.
Well, he doesn't
No,
look dog-like. Actually, if you think about it, this is a baboon. This is basically like giving monkey gun. This is a
We
baboon.
gave Monkey gun. He will shoot you. Why? Funny.
Also, on top of that, no, it's even better. It's an ape. I just realized what this is. This is the propaganda of the baby-eating Hun from World War I taken to its maximum shitpost level. Because you have a pickelhaub, Viking horns, the ape-like expression, and the whip.
oh no, the
Stop
coordinate
this
legions
mad
aren't
brute.
murderers. They're Germans.
Well, to give you an idea, really early orc art used to make them look German too, if I remember right. They just spoke like chavs.
Something. Tolkien inspiration. Something.
Now, moving on to the bloodletters.
Oh, they have the fantasy role playing.
Yes,
Statistics.
they include the statistics of which the bloodletters has an initiative of 100.
Yeah.
By the way, I love it. It has a fellowship of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of interesting how much of a smorgasbord this whole book is actually, and
Also,
just kind of how,
it's nice to see the
for lack of a
bloodletters
better
haven't
term,
changed at all.
it's kind of messy in that kind
Well,
of way
actually,
too. Where
yeah.
it's just like it's throwing
Well, actually,
everything out there.
there is a difference, and there's this one line here. The greatest of the blood god's mortal followers may become bloodletters, and the greatest of all bloodletters may ultimately be elevated to the rank of bloodthirsters. So they have the idea here that the mortal followers of chaos worship or chaos gods turn into the demons.
I mean,
The
that's
only
always been
That's
a
one of
thing.
their goals,
There's
yeah.
been
except
it's-
except it really it's more been like Nurgle has that.
No, Korn used to have it
no,
too, to a
that's
degree.
been a thing for all of that. That if you're sufficiently twisted enough, you'll become a daemon.
A daemon prince.
It's
Or
always
just a
been
standard daemon. Even like it
when it
depends.
comes to like the origins of demons and all that too. It's always been weird and murky. God, I
It
don't know
also
if it's in
depends on the
this.
setting.
I don't know if it's in this book, but I seem to recall in like one of the 40K things too, like the Chaos Gods were born in different parts of human history. Like
Originally, yes.
Korn was like born during some massacre that was like really bad in humanity. Like some
Korn
weird shit,
originally was allegedly born during sometime during the Bronze Age collapse, the era of the
No,
Sea Peoples.
I think it was Middle Ages, I believe.
That's Nurgle because of Black Death.
Ah. So,
Which
But-
in a way
And
kind
if
of
you're
like
wondering,
lessens
Tzeentch was
the setting
considered young because he came about because of the Renaissance.
then again, that
I
could
would
be
kind of argue. Go ahead.
I'm saying that could be human perception, human understanding. Perhaps in other times and other species have declared that these gods emerged at their appropriate
No,
times.
this is just an excuse to explain 40 plus years of fucking sloppy editing and keeping. Let's be honest.
Also, we still don't know which guy Doombreed was. Was he Genghis Khan? Was he Adolf Hitler?
He originally was Genghis Khan. They retconned that because they thought, that's really fucking stupid. Let's not get into that amount of trouble.
Look, 40K already attracts a particular audience these days. We don't need that shit. We don't need that noise.
I like the flesh hounds. They're kind of cute in their own shitpost
Yeah.
way.
They
So
have
what you're
that.
saying is, Adam, you're saying you're a real big pitbull owner is what you're saying.
It's more
They
because it reminds me of a Gila monster.
do they have? Yep, they still have the collar of corn, which they still have today. And then finally, though, the Juggers, the Juggernauts, and they really look more
Mechanical.
houndish
They also look a
as
bit
well.
more mechanical.
But they've always been metal, but they definitely
Well,
have that.
it's the positioning. They look like heavily modified motorcycles.
That would be an interesting kit bash idea. But then we get to the part we can't show you, the Servants of Slaanesh, because nearly everything has a naked tit on it,
No, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Not all of it. There's some that doesn't.
including the banner.
There's a reason I skipped very quickly.
So we will
Do
go.
we
No, we
want
can
to talk
we can
about
go
it a
through a
little
lot
bit?
of it. We can look at the Keeper of Secrets at least, which I think is important.
So the Keeper of Secrets take a gloating sadistic pleasure in killing and torture, exist only for the delights of carnage. It is said they can hear anything that is said in any dimension, as hence they are called the Keeper of Secrets.
Because
And again,
the joke is whatever you whisper as pillow talk, they can hear. It's also why one of the earliest forms of spying was honeypot techniques.
so the physique and the description of it: horned bovine, humanoid body with 2 pairs of muscular arms, the upper pair ending crab-like claws, and the lower in human hands. That is an accurate description of exactly what they are now.
Also,
I think it's
I
pretty.
like the choice of animals because you can call a woman a cow, and the crab claws represent having pubic lice.
Huh.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to draw attention too. I really love like some little descriptions that we don't see these days, where like they just have a psychological trait where it just says hates followers or corn.
They still have that in some games.
Also, I love the choice of giving them spandex boots. Oh, look, they have garter straps too.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, BDSM and all that.
Yeah, the
Then-
kinky boots. Yes.
Yep.
I
Then
cannot show
the
you
da-
the Minotaur last because
or the Daemonettes,
Daemonettes. Whoops.
because
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, Lanesh. Very cool.
But again, same thing. Figures having human women, 1 breast, long flowing white hair, clawed hands. Honestly, literally the same thing.
There's a reason why they tried to cull Slanesh originally and replace them with the Great Horned Rat.
Am I
Fiend.
going insane? Because like they mentioned like the 1 breast thing. I know that's like a thing that happened in Amazonian lore, but they would remove one of their booties.
a
it
They
does-
might be better archers.
This is for the hermaphrodism.
It's a reference to, again, Slanesh kind of represents hermaphroditism, degeneracy. It's also a reminder a lot of Daemonettes, they originally were dudes. It's a
Who knows
mark.
what?
So what you're saying
Also,
is,
some of them are ladies. Like that's the entire
Slanesh,
point.
Slanesh is like those drag queens that want to read to my children. The brave Space Marines with the flamer coming in to kill them. It's my.
I was going to say, if they wanted to make female space marines, here's a very simple way they could do it. It's the Emperor's children. It's
They
the
did.
Emperor's children.
Oh no. Fappy Spile did. They're not space marines. They're still mutants. They're just really tough mutants. Gene Seed still doesn't work.
Yeah, every Keeper of Secrets is supposed to be unique-looking squirrel killer.
And thankfully now we have 3 different heads you can use. That'll be $170, please. Or
3
50,
print
who
that
knows?
shit.
I would love to show you the fiends in full, but oh lord.
We'll show you the miniatures of them, because they really emphasize this part. Part scorpion, reptile, and human. I have them with me right now. They look more horse-like. Like, more like a scorpion horse thing.
They look
There
kind
we
of
go.
silly.
They do look silly. It's just the art kind of. Oh boy.
And then we have the Mount of Slanesh, which is the bipedal feminine horse ostrich thing.
Yep.
With the long tongue, because of course.
And then we
How
get
many,
to a brief bit on the inevitable city, which is something they've referenced repeatedly, and I really do like the inevitable city as like a nightmare place.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what they... That's what they called the... That's what they called the part of the webway that connects to Terra.
They probably just reused it, but basically in the Warhammer Fantasy setting, as you're it doesn't even have to be in the Chaos Wastes, it's just more likely when you're reaching the Chaos Wastes. A road will sometimes just tunnel its way into the nightmare realm that is the realm of chaos. And that road will inevitably take you to, well, the city, hence the name. You cannot leave the road because it will just always lead towards it. And it is horrible. People who come back usually are broken. That's if they come back. Many times they don't. They just starve. It is a horrible place. Do not go there. Unless you're forced to, in which case, just suck it up. You're fucked.
And again, that artwork is incredible.
There's a lot of beautiful artwork that's why I
As it looks,
strongly recommend getting a copy if you can find it.
Beautiful is not the word I would use. Grotesque
it looks a
is what
lot.
I would use.
But we get to one of the most important and impactful parts of Warhammer,
The road to power.
just Warhammer in general, and the path of chaos. The inevitable fate of every single Chaos champion is threefold: death, spawndom, or daemonhood.
Correct.
And this is the game of how to do that. You conduct a series of battles after generating a Chaos champion, which you fight, lose, win, get more followers, get mutations, until, well, you inevitably either die, become a spawn, or become a daemon.
And the way it can work is one of two ways. You can choose to be starting as a Chaos Warrior or as a Sorcerer. They're both types of the same. They're both a champion, but the way they fight's different.
One is a big, fuck huge warrior man, and the other rolls on a dice table to make sure they don't explode when they want to throw a magic missile at you.
As for how does this system work, this is what the point of this chapter. It explains this. The
So you will
champion
randomly
increases in power by giving rewards, and these are determined randomly. And the goal is you want to receive more boons than chaos features. If you receive 6 boons, you become a demon. If you get 6 features, is your fate.
And when we look on the chart, there's a lot more of a chance to get the features than the gifts.
Because chaos is fickle. By the way, here are the profile tables for each of them.
I want you to say it. So you roll a d100.
No, look. Chaos Dwarf, Human, Dark Elf.
Well, no. Dwarf Wizard.
That too.
And then at 9 through 96 through 0, if you get that, you can be a beastman, a goblin, a half-orc, a human wearer, a lizard man, a minotaur, a skaven, a slan, even a zote.
Because this was when zotes were still a thing.
And they still are. There's one in Blood Bowl.
Which I think is just fantastic. I love the random generation. I do think it's a big shitpost that they're called wizards, but this is before the concept of runesmithing.
What are those freaks again that have like one eyes and they look like kobolds?
Famir.
The Famir are referenced here.
Yeah, you can play as them. Then you'll get your Mark of Chaos, which gives you bonoses.
By the way, I really love the Chaos Knight on page 41. It kind of reminds me of Anno's work from Final Fantasy. This feels like a rendition of X-Death, for example. Like a really detailed take on X-Death or Golbez.
They even say here that, they give the gifts for Khorne and Slaanesh. The other book will give you Tzeentch and Nurgle. They also say that if you have a different Chaos God, you can use the regular reward table or develop your own.
So if you ever wanted to do a follower of the Chaos God of Disbelief Nakoho, or you want to do a Malice/Malal, that's up to you, buddy. By the way, I love this chart that you get here. Champion starts here, and you get this little fucking dweeboid.
Turns to Chaos, and now he gets his armor. Then ran the rewards. The rewards can be getting followers, in which case you also then generate the rewards and the attributes for said followers.
Generate followers, select follower of unit to receive follower rewards, which can actually take you all the way back to becoming a champion, which is really funny.
Then
this
you
is
get
to
to
show
see,
how hard it is to get rid of a chaos band once it really starts going along.
Yep. Champion receives rewards until finally, does it have 6 or more attributes? Yep, you turn to a spawn. If you have 6 more gifts, turn to a Daemon Prince.
End of a champion.
And that gives us to the rewards table, which you can refuse rewards, but you cannot refuse attributes. Like, if you don't want the weapon, you can say, I don't want a weapon. But, if your face is sprouting tentacles, you can't reject
that. You gotta suck it up.
And
there's a good reason why you would ever want to refuse the gifts of chaos.
because it might be something that you know is going to be bad for you.
Because they can be
As-
double-edged.
Yeah.
Literally, chaos is fickle, and some of the
or
gods
literally-
are more known for doing it than others.
I have 5 swords of death, a bazooka, an axe that screams names unmentionable. I'm kind of good on weapons here, thank you very much.
That's not very corn-like of you.
So if we look on the reward table, 40% of the time you will get an attribute.
Occasionally, you
Every
just
time you roll.
frenzy.
15% of the time you will get an actual reward. Then when you have...
You also can just randomly get spawn, add strength.
Well, that just means more spawn you get. You can get... And then the only way to see if you are ascending to daemonhood or spawndom is if you roll in the Eye of the Gods table. So you could be completely corrupted and just still gain more and more power. It's just when the Eye of the Gods are upon you is when you either become a spawn or die.
Yeah, and if you have 6 or more attributes, which can happen, well, fuck you, you're done.
So if like I have like 10 gifts and like 6 attributes, I get fucked either way.
Yeah, you're too mutated.
Unless still,
To handle the
example,
power of
I am a
chaos.
Slanesh worshipper. I now have a 230-inch Fahnstucker, which sounds impressive, but it is a problem. That is correct. Although it does lead to the nightmare concept of, if you've ever heard of the Greek god Priapsus, who also,
Priapus.
or you might also know him in the form of Vodril. Imagine that, but you also get the metal skin benefit, and you could just use it as a fucking bludgeon.
Well, to you,
Well,
my
that-
dear viewer, all I can say to you is that was your problem for going with Slanesh and not Glorious Zeech. That's on you,
Did
buddy.
they
So,
cover Slanesh and Corn here?
yes, they will. Next
There
up
are
are the
unique
rewards
gifts
of corn,
based on them, yes.
in which the first of them are the faces of corn, a bloodthirster, bloodletter, fleshhound, juggernaut, stuff that is in stuff like Black Crusade.
And these are considered rewards. These are not considered attributes, technically.
Like, for
You
instance,
mentioned too when
I was
we
going to
did
say,
the Chaos campaign, Adam, when we were playing on our Warhammer Quest, these were the exact same gifts practically. So shit,
Yes.
these things have been here for a while.
Correct.
yeah,
So, no.
when I
quick
told you that
correction,
these are
this-
fundamental, these are
Yeah, these-
fundamental.
But yeah, this book does not actually have Nurgle and Zinch.
That's the
in
second
the
book.
companion
Yeah.
book.
So, I like this one result, though, on the 33-36, technology.
Well,
You get a gun.
Before then, I also like Skin of Corn because it allows your skin to become either red, black, or brass, and your eyes become milk white. I just kind of like that. But yeah, the technology is great.
Technology, gun?
yeah.
Gun.
Yes. Hey, guess what, champion of corn in Warhammer Fantasy? Here's a las cannon that never runs
Here's
out
a
of ammo.
Shokuro weapon.
I love the
Joe Cairo,
like you just get
Power glove, melt-a gun, power. Just a fucking las gun is still pretty
A
powerful
fucking
in this
D
set.
cannon.
A D cannon. Now,
multi-melta.
missile launcher. You just have a fucking missile launcher.
By the way,
What if,
infinite ammo.
Infinite ammo. And they do say if you are using this, you do have to use the Warhammer 40k book.
But this does lead to the fun idea. Okay, hear me out. You have, imagine like this hung warrior, or not hung warrior, like one of the nomad horsemen,
Kurgan.
like a Kurgan. He's like a Kurgan, and he is riding on his chaos steed, which is actually a juggernaut that looks like a motorcycle. And in one hand he has an axe, and in the other a sawn-off shotgun.
Oh, that could work. So they do say
That's
if you
amazing.
don't have the book, though, just generate a different reward. So this is different from modern Warhammer, where they would say yes, you need the book.
You
I was
need
about to
it.
say too, like if you roll technology and if you're playing a game of 40k, does that just basically mean the gods look through their junk drawer and just throw their loose change at you practically?
Basically, yeah.
Let's see. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, you get the gun, but do remember, it doesn't have any. It never runs out of ammo.
Yeah. So if let's say you're really lucky and you get your hands on a bolter. Think of what
A
you can
heavy
do to
bolter.
sieges in fantasy with that thing. It's
Remember,
basically
a heavy
a
bolter.
light siege weapon.
Let's see. There's other things like you merge with a flesh hound.
That can happen.
You lose your personality loss, which may turn you into a chaos spawn. I guess if you drop to
There are
0.
multiple rules to becoming a spawn. They explain this. You have to keep your stats above 0, particularly your mental stats, because that's your will. If you lose that, like if you constantly get personality loss, well, bye.
You can't be really the follower of the chaos god or the drooling idiot.
LS still has said, it's a shame we didn't get the version of Fantasy where Archeon the Everchosen shows up to Middenheim riding a Helldrake.
And then
No,
also, if you
That would have
roll
been cool.
if you roll 100, you get a chaos attribute.
No, that would be cool. Like he shows up on a Helldrake and he just has a fucking chainsword. Don't question it. He just has a
this
chainsword
book.
now.
I mean, all right, we should have brought open the old Liber Chaotica book because that has a fantasy dude trying to explain a chainsword to people. It's kind of great.
It is a sword that feeds upon the enemy, ripping and tearing.
No, I
Fun
love
fact,
it.
actually,
So
fun fact, did you know the chainsword actually makes an appearance in Total War 3?
yes,
Yes,
it does. Now, the rewards of Slanesh, while it starts at the
Well,
beginning,
no, there is a
face
couple
of
of
the
other
various
really fun
creatures.
ones, like the Weapon Hand, demonic name. 100's actually bad for you, though.
Yep.
Now the reward of Slanesh.
So you get, obviously, the faces of the demons, the crab-like claw. You get to become a hermaphrodite.
Yeah, you get rewarded with that.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
You can also get the face
From
of Mount.
transsexual Slovenia.
You get the face of a Mount, which gives you the licky tongue of death.
You can
Yeah.
yes, you can exude a musky perfume, which is highly attractive to all creatures. A tail. So yeah, fate of a champion.
The most
You
common
have
one is becoming a Gribbly. Let's be fair.
Yep.
That's the thing that's most likely.
condemned to receives the chaos spawn attribute when on the personal attribute table.
Which can
One
happen.
or more of the champion's personal characteristics, leadership, intelligence, cool, and willpower, which still exist in Horus Heresy and in Necromunda, drops to 0 as a result of acquiring a gift or an attribute, condemned to join the hordes of Chaos Spawn, or offending his god in battle.
Basically, the condemned to join the hordes is specifically if you get the 6 attributes.
And then, after you're done that, you then roll on another D100 table to determine what happens to the spawn. If it's during a campaign, immediately remove from play, attacking everything in vicinity, following its former followers like a stupid dog, or 81 to 0. The followers of the ex-champion are so much in awe of their master that they retain him as leader. You have a commander who is subject to stupidity. The followers continue to receive rewards for their services as they did under the leadership of the former champion.
It's really fun. That's my favorite one, just because they have to listen to the gibbering Gribbly thing.
Yes, my master. What is it you want? Beg of us. Our God has spoken.
We shall claim the hot pockets.
I'm just now reminded because Biggs and I were in a Black Crusade equivalent game for Warhammer Fantasy roleplay. Remember we had one of our spawn outlast most of like our original commander, and we just called him Gribble because, and we just.
To be fair, she that's because she ascended too, so she didn't die. So she just rolled really fucking lucky, unfortunately for all of us.
Yeah. But it was funny
So-
because we had a repeat character in the form of the Chaos Spawn we called Gribble because like, instead of just babbling incoherently, we just repeated like insane conspiracy theory lines like something Dale Gribble would fucking say. Chemtrails putting water in the coffee to make the frogs gig.
I was about to say too, when it comes to the random table too, but when did this book come out? Exactly.
88.
It's really early.
88. You know what's funny too? You know what else was also in store shelves too? The first edition Mech Warrior RPG. I have to wonder if there is some insane motherfucker here that had most of these books, and like he was just having like mech pilots get fucking horribly mutated in their pilot cockpits.
I mean, you
that
could do
explains
a daemon
BattleTech
engine with
Gothic.
it. That would also explain the rise of remember the Titans? Like remember the chaos engines that you could do? That would explain it too.
Then
I
the
also
other
like
result
this cornate
yeah.
werewolf. That's pretty cool.
What is it?
is
What is it? You said. What is it? You said. You said something that would explain what?
no, I was just saying explaining the rest of the. Oh, I was saying it would explain BattleTech Gothic.
Well, you know, they're in shelves right next to one another. You know.
So
the other option is
then,
becoming a daemon.
which your profile, your strength multiplies by 2, toughness goes up by 2, wounds and initiative go up by or multiply by 2. You become 1.5 times your original size.
You grow horns,
And,
wings, and a tail if you don't have them, but it's not obligatory.
You basically can
Also, the
fuck off
daemon
or
prince
keep
created
fighting.
from a champion of chaos does not have to look like a greater daemon because, unlike them, which are shards of the main personality, he still has a little bit of that bit in them, you know? They have family characteristics, but they can be different, quite different.
You can then use them as a demonic sponsor for your next champion, including generating its own reward table.
Also, here they are
They're
just
not-
bullying the shit out of some goblins.
Now, I
They're
think
not putting
those are orcs.
limitations on.
Those are orcs. They're a little too
They're not
skinny for me to think they're orcs.
Maybe they're half orcs because they got the orc face.
Which page is this on? I'm the orc aficionado in the group, so I can tell you.
54. They have orc faces, but their bodies just feel a little too small for them to make me think they're orcs. They might be early orcs because I feel like
And-
they'd be buffer.
No, those are orcs because now, and you see this a lot of like even in the D&D R2 for like something that should be horribly muscular, it's just not. You see that was the battle lore and a lot of the demons and D&D art. So yeah, those are probably the orcs or some nondescript goblin shit.
I just like how they're wearing fucking tunics.
So then you have the rewards that you can get. Surviving a battle will give you 1 reward. Slaying a greater demon gives you 1.5. For Khorne, if you use any magic, no rewards. If you kill a wizard or Slanesh followers, you gain a reward. For Slanesh, killing a follower of Khorne, a champion, gives you 1. Champion gives you 1.5. Killing through excessive pleasure, which is the result of casting the Acquiescence spell, which is still in the game today.
Yep.
No rewards indicates any rewards earned for the battle are lost.
Also, the way half rewards, because there are some that you just get half rewards for, you hold on to them until you get the other half.
Optionally, you may consider a god or a champion who acts in contradiction to his cast power's aims, offends his god, and becomes a spawn.
That's one of the ways that this can happen, yeah.
Then, if you are taken as a casualty, you can roll to see if they are just simply knocked out, if they suffer an injury, or if they're dead. And if they're dead, they can become a skeleton champion.
Oh, baby!
You retain all your gifts, but cannot gain any further.
That's interesting.
You need to roll a D100, note the score, and then to represent the whims of the patron, then roll a D100 again. If the second score is less than or equal to the first, the champion rises as skeleton champion.
Because I know Kroll's this thing, but they say what happens in the old world, what happened to when Chaos tries to fuck with death magic. I guess just to get really pissy.
It's one
Well,
of
the
the
gosh
reasons
isn't a
the
god in
undead
that
are
setting.
against them, yeah.
They can be corrupted, though. Isabella von Karstein was corrupted. And Harkon...
Yeah, but
It's
also
harder
Einstein's
to corrupt
bullshit,
them, but
you
yeah,
know it.
even they can be corrupted.
Harkon was corrupted. They can be.
It's harder,
there's
but it
Krell.
can be.
Kinda. Krell was a chaos champion, and then he became a bone boy.
Yep. And then we get to making the retinue. You, as that guy is pointing, you are a part of the retinue now.
I want you to run around in your underpants and killing people for our god.
You know, it's a real shame you know, again, it's really cool for the chaos and all that, but we didn't get one for like, oh, here's your Empire mercenary band, your orcs.
Because
They
it doesn't work the same way.
It doesn't work the same way, but they also kind of did that occasionally in earlier fantasy runs. Like this is back when they would experiment with things all
Like-
the time.
Like
remember
I want
remember that they used to do Dogs of War or Man of War, which was their sea-going version.
like they
God.
say here.
They actually
That-
even thought about doing an air-to-air combat in Warhammer Fantasy using hot air balloons and helicopters. They never
Would've
got
been
far
fun.
with that one.
They say here that like if you do a skirmish between different warbands, it should be small, rarely more than 30 or 40 per side. That is probably an average 1,000 point game.
Basically, you're a small warband trying to gather more followers. This would be representing you beating up other warbands in, say, the Chaos Wastes or in areas that are particularly fucked in the aftermath of a war.
So as they say here, for every 2 rewards, you can gain followers. And you roll to see if you gain the followers, and such followers can be things such as beastmen, chaos dwarves, a sorcerer, 1 chaos warrior, bunch of dark elves, some chaos goblins, harpies, regular humans.
By the way, I love these little stylized bits of
Yeah.
art that they have up top, which is kind of based on the models. Also, one of them has a goddamn bazooka.
Yes.
I love it.
That might be for 40K.
No, that would be they're goblins. Of course they would.
No, they're not goblins. Those are dwarves. You can tell because of look at their legs and arms. Look at their proportions.
You're right. Yeah.
Those are chaos
But-
dwarves, and also they have fucking pickle helmets.
Or as I
Actually,
like
if you
to
look
call
on the
them,
other
chaos
side,
swats.
there's a really mutated chaos dwarf whose head is now his face, or his head is now his chest.
Yep.
But you can get wolves, skaven, wizards, others. A standard creature that can be anything from a bear to a griffin.
Which I think is hilarious.
Or, you can get the pygmies.
You can also
The pygmies.
Oh,
The most
God.
racist
Yeah.
thing Games Workshop has ever done.
D6 of
Okay,
these
it is
join the
not
retinue.
the most racist thing that Games Workshop has ever done.
They-
It's probably the second most racist.
They were
I
big-lipped,
can bet you.
short black people.
Correct.
That were in Africa.
No, I think they were actually in South America.
No. Those were the Amazons.
The Amazonians
they're
had
there as
their
well.
own version of the pygmies.
Listen, I'd still say that Orcs Drift is up there in terms of like unintentionally racist, but
They didn't.
this is intentionally
Didn't the Zulus
racist.
win that battle?
Yes, the Battle of the Big Tooth. Yeah, but the thing is that you're depicting the orcs as the Zulus, which is still like, okay, buddy, like, step back a second here.
All right, but
I mean, it did lead to my shitpost idea of you have a bunch of savage orcs styled like Ethiopia going after the Skaven, who, since they're canonically Italian, I just styled like Mussolini covered in garbage. So you have a bunch of these like rat men wearing like tattered black clothes with literal
Honestly,
fucking garbage.
You're just making me want to pick up a box of like Skaven and just give them all Chef Boyardee hats.
And their leader was called Big Chiss.
Big chiss.
Big Cheese.
I get it, but
that is. But
Oh, and the leader of the orcs, Rastafasta.
you see, that's funny. I'm sorry. The pygmies literally were black
the pygmies are actually
stereotype.
kind of racist. Yes.
They are
I seem to
100
recall too. The pygmies
At
also
least
worship
they are.
twin gods.
There may
And I
have been
believe
some.
the magic was literally called voodoo, if I remember
It was.
correctly.
Yeah.
It's similar to how Araby used to actually worship Allah.
Yes.
They did.
Allah exists.
It's also similar to how
Bismillah.
the Japanese used to worship an orange soda.
No, the orange Simca.
Yeah, Simca is a
It's a
type
car.
of drink.
I thought it was a car.
I thought that was
They also
Faygo.
worshipped a soda at some point, it is a soft drink. It was a soft drink they made fun of.
But let's see.
Was it? Yeah,
Then
the
you-
Savage Orcs versus British style Praetorians, as mentioned. That's what we talked about.
Yeah. Yes. But then you get your followers. They get their rewards, and so on and so forth.
I love these 4 Chaos Warriors just because look, they got their own guy whose sole thing is to just doot. Announce our presence. Begins.
Well, yeah,
digging
no,
on the-
that's your command. You've got your musician, you've got your banner bearer, and you've got the other guy.
I still
and the
like
champion.
the dude though,
Ah,
because
the
his
Dukes.
trumpet has teeth.
It does.
Yeah, see, it's like mandibles, like an animal.
Mhm.
It probably can be used to bite people.
That actually would work.
But you get a bunch of rewards for the followers, and how it works is they can get attributes, a characteristic improvement. One of them might just become gribbles.
Yep. You can sometimes get guys to be instantly chaos spawned.
Some of them
Actually, that
might
reminds
actually
me.
become champions, so you can have
when I was
multiple.
looking this up, why the hell haven't we gotten plastic Praetorian kit yet? The red coats for
Because
the Imperial Guard.
because why would that sell when you could instead do more Death Core of Krieg?
Yeah,
That's
the
what the
Death
internet
Guard
likes.
and all.
No,
But
they
dudes with
boring.
pith helmets and laser
Sleepy.
martini Henrys is an
Can I get the-
aesthetic.
You have to make
I
a
have the
whole
Talar-
sprue for it. You know what? Instead,
Can I
here's
have
what
the-
we're gonna
They're
do:
not
limited
even
edition
Nazis.
run.
They're not even Nazis like the Armageddon Steel Legion were.
Guys,
Wake me up when you stop talking about Krieg.
guys,
They're French.
guys, Can I
Yeah.
have Can I have the Desert Raiders back, please? I'd like to have the Talarans, please.
That would have been better.
They were
yeah.
on made to order last year, I believe.
Talarnar?
Oh,
they were on
finally
made to
brought 'em
order
back.
at one point.
Oh,
At made to
nice.
order, which means you can't buy them until they bring them out again.
Wake me up.
But you know who could
when
probably
they
help you with
make
that?
The Maccabean Janissaries.
Hey,
They
you know
won't,
what?
because
You
that's
could
belonged technically to Fantasy Flight.
Well, then
But
wake
you know,
me
you
up when they
Make
bring
my
up
call.
any of the other ones, because I
It's still a
don't give a
rights
shit
issue.
for Krieg.
But you know what you can do instead? Buy Wargames Atlantic. It's cheaper miniatures and it will cater to all of your needs.
I'd rather just
would actually
what was it
do-
called?
Or the Perry miniatures.
What the fuck is the game I'm thinking of?
Or bolt action stuff.
Bolt Action, thank you. I was blanking on Bolt. I would just buy Bolt
I mean,
Action
bolt
at this
action,
point.
you could use those for that.
well, that's
I
the-
would say that the really fun one would be to get some like the Centillion Fusiliers using like Napoleonic miniatures.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, they do. They have their Wargames
No,
Atlantic
think
does have
about
space.
If you get
No,
like,
Wargames. And you say Wargames Atlantic does have a space grognards unit.
I have a fun idea. Okay, hear me out. You take your Bolt Action Italian Arditi, and then give them a bunch of customized light versions of the Sentinels and make them a Sentinel unit.
That could work.
Yeah.
The ones with the feather hats, yeah.
Yeah, you want the Arditi or the Dare to Die Corps.
One of the funniest images I've ever seen is one of the Arditi in Afghanistan wearing a full balaclava, and he's just got the fucking olive ostrich plume attached to like a helmet. It looks so ridiculous.
Another fun one is you take a Hussar unit and just put them on Grox for whatever reason.
I mean, that would work.
Or the Quars. The Quar army.
But here's my question. Can you proxy Groot as whatever the fuck?
Listen,
Yes, you can use the unmarried Zulu warriors as your Kroot. You racist Italian. As that one unfortunate
User
meme
was
did.
banned for that post.
I mean, yeah, let's make the Groot the Zulu. Why not?
Because we all know that the Zulu learned how to be British by eating them.
You know, you're saying that, but you know what I'm thinking? Can I use Bolt Action's Cherokee scouts and make them Kroot because they ate the Europeans to copy their culture?
Also, Nicholas, War Games Atlantic.
Yeah,
All of the things you're answering is made by War Games Atlantic.
Those are the guys that did the Prussian stuff for Trench Crusade recently, right?
Yes.
They also
But
the
they
reason
do-
I don't give a shit about that crap. You know
Oh
why
no,
I care?
no, it wasn't the Prussians. That was the Mormons they did.
Oh, then
The
fuck
Mor-
them. There's
yes.
another company that did the Prussians that are recently doing the StarCraft tabletop minis game that looks a lot better than that Mormon slapdash bullshit.
Also, do not fuck War Games Atlantic. Holy shit, they give you like 20 miniatures for half the price.
I don't
Games Workshop
give a
does.
shit. My first experience with them as the company name was legitimately they just slapped some fucking ties on some knights and said, "That's good enough. Fuck this piece of shit game. Good enough, mate."
I will be posting some of their other stuff in the Discord, and I will prove you wrong.
Well, yeah, but that's my first experience with them, and it doesn't help that that's my first experience with them.
Well,
They
moving
couldn't
on
even
then
be
from all,
arsed to get the proper Mormon magic underwear, weird temple ropes they used to have, for fuck's sake.
well, they're British. They don't know that. I don't think they have much experience with Mormons.
It's a cash grab, and they know that the company's fucking up on their dono orders.
So, moving on then, though, I want to skip to the Magic of Chaos section
Yeah,
to
because the
get a little bit more
Champions of
onto the
Chaos
meat
are cool and all, but we could skip that.
as we go to the Drifting Castle.
By the way, there are tables for instant spawns and instant Daemon Princes if you just want to make them really quick. But here's the magic. This is the important thing. It's Howl's Moving Castle if Howl's Moving Castle made you into a Gribbly. Oh, also, if it was living on a face.
So,
What is wrong with your face?
this is how we explain what magic is. Well, chaos is wild magic. It is, and
It's not
in the
really
chaos
wild
wastes,
magic. It kind of is, kind of isn't.
yeah. And so in the wilds of the chaos wastes, that magic goes running amok, changing everything from reality, yourself, the world, reality.
There's a reason they tend to call this magic Dar. It's the wind of chaos. It's not really something you fuck with.
You will find oases made of living metal.
Uh,
Birds will fly
the
in the
chaos
opposite
wastes are
directions.
frozen. The chaos wastes are frozen, and you can find tropical jungles there inexplicably.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want to eat anything from there because it's likely a Nurgle garden, but you know.
and we give a little bit of understanding of Horn. So he has rejected all forms of magic, of spell casting, because it is a process of the mind, not the sword's edge.
Basically, his
Therefore,
entire thing is he cares about battle. He ain't a thinker.
therefore, weapons of war are fine with him. So, yes, if you have a bolter, a magic blade, or a daemon sword, or a chainsword, it's fine. You are
In a
still
dark
killing.
irony, he works magic like the dwarves do. It is not through your mind. You can't kill with it, but you can make things with it.
So what you're saying is the spoon is in your mind.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the classic daemon summoning, well, you have to conduct the ritual.
Which is
And the
done
ritual
via
is done
pentagrams.
pentagram, even though 5 is not an associated chaos number.
Not only that, but 5 traditionally in actual pentagram stuff was it's considered a good number. This is basically them taking Christians' understandings of the pentagram as this is a satanic symbol because idiots used it in the same way that they used St. Peter's cross. If you're wondering, the inverted cross, that's not Satan. That is literally the founder of the Roman Catholic Church because he did not want to be crucified the same way as the guy he followed.
Yep. Then they give rules for daemon saving throws, basically how these saving throws would work in the chaos wastes or in the realm of chaos itself.
Speaking of which, you're seeing a daemon about to kill the sorcerer because he has interrupted his murder sesh to bug him about his goon sesh, and he hates him.
That might be the first depiction of the Hounds of Corn attacking a sorcerer.
How dare you interrupt my well-kitted out murder time for your pathetic goon sesh, wizard? Time to die.
But page, as we keep going forward, page 76 talks about the different types of magic powers.
And also for Nicholas Liu, does that mean the crew enjoy British food? They'll enjoy anything you give them.
Yeah. So
No, the British as food. A small difference, but an important one to know.
Little known fact is that the crew actually wrote a modest proposal as an actual cookbook. What happened though was that the comedian that they hired to write it thought it was a joke.
So I want to point out
proposal as part of the human species and immediately decided, these guys ain't that bad.
So I want to point out that the types of spells that you can cast for a chaos spellcaster.
Most of these have not changed, by the way.
Battle magic, demonic, elemental, illusionist, necromantic. That is the same stuff that is in the current old world. That is how they group the spells. They don't group the spells by the different lores of magic. They have retained the same thing from over 40 years.
Well, because the way chaos works is it doesn't play by the winds. It never did.
And because the old world takes place before the colleges were discovered, this is what it would be like. This raw, unfiltered magic. But then you have spells that different daemons can cast. Greater demons and lesser demons can cast magic. And they
And
have their
here are
own
some of the
spells.
spells. Like, here's the spell of Slanesh that we talked about, Acquiescence.
Which, let's see, base-to-base contact, successful hit roll, victim enters a blissful euphoric state for the rest of the battle. I believe in at least, I think, Age of Sigmar's last time I saw the spell, and it gave you, I think, a +1 to hit on a target.
Speaking
So,
of which, the funniest thing about this is on Servants of Khorne, the effects are worse and they can just die.
Hevain of Slanesh, I've seen that one. Beam of Slanesh. Fleshy Curse, oh, I've definitely seen
The
that.
Beam of Slanesh is literally, you point at a dude and make them nut. Oh
Basically,
god, yeah,
it's
the
a
Fleshy Curse.
beam that does the acquiescence spell. Yeah, so like different effects, like growths of fat spurting from the victim. All is the victim and all his excretions move a certain number of yards in a random direction. And a tentacle-like extension shoots from the victim. Use a D12 clock face to determine the direction of the tunnel's growth, and we don't know where the tentacle is coming from.
By the way, you have to kill them to make it stop.
He will continue to expand almost indefinitely, and can only be wounded or killed by fire-based attacks. Growth will continue until the victim is killed. White plasticine can be used on the table to simulate the horrible fleshy growths which emerge from the doomed victim. Do remember, daemons cast this automatically.
Correct. Skedaddle, skadoodle, you've gained 18,000 fat rolls.
And now we go on to the chaos weapons.
And there's a lot of art of these, and it's neat, but holy shit, we don't need it. We did not need these many.
We get no, we do. We do need to know the D1000 properties of swords.
Jesus Christ. Look at all these options.
Each chaos weapon costs 25 points, which very expensive for a weapon, plus 25 points per die roll.
I mean, some of them are really powerful. Like, animation alone allows them to fight on their own.
One just becomes a chainsword.
Yep.
Uh,
One's a creature.
Increasing your cool. You could instead become cowardice, which means unless you roll willpower, you are not allowed to make any weapon attacks during the subsequent fighting.
There's degeneration, which that allows any target that takes a wound, you have to roll a d6, and on a 6 you lose another one of your wounds, 1 to 5. Let's see. There's a lot. There's so many.
Fear, which you then consult a 1d100 table to see what determined the object of the blade's fear.
One of them is just, it allows you to fucking fly.
Yes. The blade's hilt is carved from a swan's bones and allows the bearer to fly.
There's just a lot of options. I'm just kind of really quickly
I'm imagining though, you're a champion of Nurgle, this giant, fat, obese thing of a man, and you pull out your little dagger. Fly.
I'm just envisioning. You're saying this. I'm envisioning like fat, ugly bastard, but covered in like boils. He pulls out his little knife and then just starts doing actual wire fu, flying like bad wuxia wire fu. This 500-pound corpulent fucker.
Being immune to fire, being a power sword, being random.
One of them is just a blessed sword that destroys the fuck out of undead.
Yeah.
Sanctity.
One that sings.
One that summons skeletons. Vampire Blade. This one's interesting because it allows it to just It drains damage. It doesn't heal you, though.
It feeds on it.
Correct.
But that's the Chaos Weapon. You see, that's just a weapon imbued with terrifying war magic shit.
This is what they
Now
give
there's
their
the
champions. Here's what the demons carry.
no. I believe this is the one you stuff a demon in.
Hmm.
Yep. You stick a demon in this.
Most of the time it's going to be a sword, but sometimes it might be something different. I personally am a fan of giving you really stupid weapons like the punching daggers or the whip sword or the Kusari Gama if you're going to play
in,
like a Clan Eshin assassin.
in which there are a whole shit tons of abilities you can get from them, as well as individual ones. But you do need to sate the weapon. Otherwise, the bound demon may start trying to rattle and break out of its way. And if it does, it might kill you.
Also, if you're wondering the way it's bound, yeah, the Lesser Demon may be given up to its god's number of chaos attributes. And sometimes it's just a random daemon. It could just be some poor fuck.
And certain points costs. So,
But
for instance, the Axe of Corn, the one carried by all bloodthirsters, has a greater demon trapped inside of it.
interesting. You can get
And then we
multiple
get
daemon swords as a result of their service. You can carry 2 of them or give 1 to a member of his retinue. If the champion receives a third, they can bind the 2 previous blades into. You could just start stacking blades on top of your blades. What happens if you get more? Can you just turn it into like a stupid infinite shuriken of insanity?
sure. So, then we go to the chaos magic items.
I like the axe of corn just because it's a pain in the ass to hold, which is fitting since it needs to cut you. But also, you could just bash people on the head with a sigil and kill them because it's clearly bladed.
Yep. So, we get the classic chaos armor, which it actually increases your toughness.
Well, no shit,
I,
it's chaos armor. This stuff is really
uh,
in Warhammer Fantasy role playing. Getting your hands on this is some of the best armor you can get. At least if you're playing a chaos game, it's really good.
the Hellblade of the Bloodletters.
Those are also pretty good.
Yep. The Collars of Corn Bloodstones, which can be used to summon daemons. And the
Mostly
Rod of
cornate
Command.
demons, but it can work on
Yep.
others.
Then we get the various familiars of chaos.
Because there's quite a
You
few
know,
of those.
like the tutelaries of the Thousand Suns, which were not chaos beasts. No, they certainly won't. They certainly were not.
And the way they're classified is: do they help you focus? Do they help empower? Do they add spells, or do they store energy?
Yep.
They go into quite a bit of details about this, and some sorcerers do, particularly Slaanesh, can have more than one. Cornates obviously don't get this because magic? No.
You. What are you, gay?
What are you, Slaaneshi? We're not doing that. Also, I really like this take on a Chaos Champion whose hair is styled like that of a Christian saint symbol. If you've ever seen some early paintings of Christian saints, that's the light of God pouring from their head in that style.
No, it's the light of his god.
I kind of like that. For a minute there, I thought I saw a Chaos Lizardman and I was going to laugh.
Well, according to this book, they did exist.
I wouldn't be surprised because remember, the lower form ones don't have orders, so if you corrupt their spawning pools, you might be able to get your hands on one.
Oh.
And especially since they can be found in Africa and they've gone completely crazy and wild since there's no higher forms ordering them around.
So now we get to the chaos attributes, where there are 2, the personal and the dominant. Personals are best used to affect one individual, while dominant only apply to whole units.
This is usually used for retainers and followers, because what happens is sometimes you'll get a follower gift, and this is how it's determined.
Yep. So, let
And
us
they
explore
explain about mobility. No,
yeah.
they explain with mobility. For example, there might be times where because of your gifts, you're not going to be able to move. This leads to you having to kit bash ideas. It's similar to how, you know how Grom the Paunch was so fucking fat he couldn't really walk, so he had like a bunch of other guys carry him?
Yep.
It's kind of like that. Or maybe you don't have any
Or,
legs.
or,
That can happen.
or if you're in 40k, stick him in a vehicle.
Correct. But there is also the possibility that all of your physical stats are so fucking terrible you can't do anything. They're usually eaten.
Yep. And then, of course, you can get fear points because you look like a fucking crazy thing.
I mean, you look like something that shouldn't be.
So, let us go to the D1000.
By the way, it is possible to get negative fear points.
Yeah. The D1000 personal attribute table.
And the reason we're going to cover this one in decent detail is, A, there's 1,000 of them, and every version of Chaos Book of the Lost, when they cover mutations, will have this fucking table.
I'm pretty sure the exact table.
There are so many. So many.
Alcoholism.
We're going to have to skim through really quick, but the reason I want to show this is they have little depictions of most of the mutations, and it's really cute.
So, you can become an alcoholic.
You could just have one of your arms wither, beaked.
Or your head.
Look at these. Bird's
bestial
feet.
face.
Look at the bird
Yep.
feet warrior.
You can become black.
Yeah, this was back in the day where that was a curse.
Well, in this case, it is literally completely and unremittingly black, so that not even light falling on the mutant vanishes into the depths of its darkened surface. You turn into fucking Vanta black.
Oh, I thought you were gonna turn into a salamander.
No, this is advanced pigmentation.
Oh, we're talking Banu Hakim antediluvian. Got it.
We're talking this additionally adds to one of your fear points and give you plus 20 to hiding at night. Oh wait, no. Also, this one, 185, big ears.
Yeah, that one's also a pretty big shit post.
You could just get big ears.
There's also this beautiful art of Daemonette getting choked out.
I mean,
Why don't you die, Damon? I'm an old corn man with Genghis Khan on my forehead. Die!
Does this mean that you could just get I look like a goddamn clown as part of your chaos mutations? Like you get
probably
the face, you get big lips, big
let
nose,
me look.
big
Yes,
ears,
you can.
big feet.
Yep.
You pick albinism, you get big lips, you get them to turn color. You could turn into you could make a clown chaos warrior.
The cornate clown.
The cornate clown sounds fantastic. I'm just envisioning like instead of a balloon animal, it's a balloon juggernaut that he rides.
No, it's made of intestines. He's inflated the intestines, and that's what he uses for his balloon animals.
Yeah.
So you can substitute your blood with
more of a corn.
It's more of a Slanesh, but I think it's funny because I'm just envisioning instead of the infinite scarves, it's the infinite patches of skin that he strangles you with as Garrett wire.
So you can get you just have leeches as your blood.
Yeah.
Electricity. Oh, so you turn to a Stormcast.
You could just breathe fire too, by the way.
Brightly patterned skin, such as having multicolored polka dots. Let's see. Underside or front of the body is one color, in the back a contrasting shade. Mutant followers of Tzeentch should roll d6 times, ignoring this result to generate again.
By the way, one of the if you get into the 240s, congrats, you're a spawn now.
241 to 250. Yeah. You have, what is it, 0.9% chance to become a spawn.
Yep. You can also become a chaos wearer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Get a cloud of flies over your head, become extremely cowardly. The crest, which that mutation is on some Slaneshi models.
Because it's supposed to look like an updo that used to be very popular in the 80s for like power rock bands and shit.
Crossbreed, so you just have a spider for your the top of your head. Or a pygmy.
Yeah, you could become part pygmy. This is where half orcs, I think, come from.
Perhaps. Crown of flesh, which can be a crown of fingers,
I also
ears,
love the
noses,
spider
tongues,
monster. Look at this dude.
Yep. eye stalks, toes, thumbs, or GM's choice, of which inevitably
So
somebody's going to do
crown
a
of Dex.
throne of penises.
Yes.
Yeah, the crown of Dex is a classic one.
You
mean,
cannot
especially for
roll a
Slaaneshi.
helmet, though. You can't wear a helmet at all.
No, you're not
No
thinking
wonder.
big brain enough. Why have a crown of dicks when you can have a crown of boobs?
Oh, wait, what does it say? It says of just anything. What about a crown of gallbladders?
A crown of gallbladders. That's pretty good. A crown of appendixes.
I hold on. I like this other mutation. Crystalline body. Your toughness becomes 6. Your wounds drop to 1.
Yeah, you can just die instantly.
No, yeah, well, yeah, but you can get out of that if you acquire other attribute mutations.
Also, dimensional instability sounds really cool. It's not. It's not. It can fuck
That-
you.
I believe that means if you fail morale checks, or at least that's what it usually is, yeah, you have a chance to just die.
No, well, no, you have a chance to disappear from the battlefield. How do I know this? In our Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game, one of our guys accidentally got this blessing. He died
Uh.
at the end of it.
Extra joints on your arms, legs.
Stretchy limbs. This is a fun one. Our Cornate Berserker got this, so he basically played a mentally challenged Monkey D. Luffy. It was really great.
Eye stalks, fangs. You can become a furry,
Oh, of
by
course.
which I mean you grow long, dense fur, or if you are naturally furry, you're completely covered by the mass of hair.
So, Cousin It, that's a viable Chaos Warrior.
Fear of blood. If a wound is caused within 6 inches of the mutant, it makes a willpower test.
By the way, headless, where your head grows over your chest.
Suffering mental fits. So you just have seizures when you see something you fear.
The illusion
Your
of normality. You appear normal.
too normal, in fact.
Huge head.
One leg.
Yeah, one leg is not very good. Wait, is flight an actual one that... for a minute there I thought you had flight, because this dude's like literally flying.
I believe... No, that's levitation.
Ah.
Limb transference.
Yeah,
you can transfer...
your face can transfer to your hand, and your hand can transfer to your face. It's not very fun.
Long neck.
Look at that dude.
A
Long
critical hit to the...
nose.
Oh, so you can play as Jews.
L'chaim.
I'm just now... Oh, you shouldn't have said that, because I'm now envisioning a shitpost... Okay, hear me out. Chaos Warband of Zinchians that are styled as merchants.
Oy vey,
whose entire thing is causing financial crises in the Empire and in smaller countries around it, like the Wastelands, like Marienburg.
And their lord, George Staros, a former lizard man, a Zinchian lizard
chaos
man,
lizard man.
Chaos lizard men.
who stole the gold from various kingdoms across the land that he uses to finance chaos cults within the Empire.
They have a magical spell called a tax credit score.
Using the Antifa, his secret cult of black-robed assassins that show up to smash buildings once in a while and shout loudly at the Imperials.
They actually have an army of pygmies that they've just unleashed.
They're currently sending in. They're currently trying to convince the lands of Bretonnia and Albion to let in swarms of orcs.
Listen.
Orcs,
ever...
orcs, tomb kings, and Arabeans.
Look, have you ever seen Albion? Like, no. The Alpines are already basically chaos creatures.
Except for the druids.
Also, the mace tail is pretty neat.
Yeah, that one's pretty neat.
Massive intellect.
The mane of hair. You could legitimately just go full, you could go full power metal.
You have immune to magic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mannequin. This one's a nightmare.
Oh yeah. Most of the mutants' facial features atrophy and disappear only until the mouth is functional. Meanwhile, a miniature body sprouts from the forehead or crown that is perfect in every detail.
Yeah, this has been around since this book. It is still around. By the way, if the mannequin's head is damaged, instant death.
You can turn into a robot.
I love the robot one. That's great.
Beep boop, beep boop.
Oh god, this
I
robot
am
got
now
red
at
socked.
1000.
See where that hook is coming from. He got red socked.
Oh,
Slanesh had their way with him before he became a robot.
My name is Fisto. I am
robot is
programmed for pleasure. Please
I was
assume the
gonna say it's
position.
The
I was gonna say it's
situation
the
in
old-
Middenheim is getting worse. Unleash Fuckbot 5000. Oh dang, it must be my birthday because there's a horde of white boys in front of me. Ah ha ha!
I was just about to say it's like the humping robot from Robot Chicken.
I was thinking Fuckbot 5000 personally.
You become
Either
a
that or that
total.
one image of this
Oh,
robot
wait.
was programmed to fuck you
Yeah.
off.
Or either that or just Grok.
Yeah.
It do be like that.
I am here for one mission and one mission only. Rape Will Stencil.
It do be like
It's a
that,
time
Mr.
traveling
Stancil.
Grok. It's Terminator, but it's just.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun-dun.
Dun-dun.
I need your condoms and your lube.
No, I need your condoms and lube. I am avoiding HIV today.
I need your BDSM gear and your condoms.
Da-da-na-na-na. And he's in a gimp outfit.
Yes, yes. Actually, what does this make the T10,000 then?
The
The
T1000,
T1000,
you mean?
No, the T69,000.
The T60.
T69. No, I'm just envisioning there's a bit where he hijacks the Daemon engine to break down the walls to complete his mission of fuckbotting the target. They blow it up, the gimp suit's burned off, and you just see the mechanical robot march towards through the hole in the wall.
Which is also wearing a gimp suit.
No, it looks like a metallic gimp suit. Like he was wearing a gimp suit over his metallic gimp suit, which is his body.
Yo, dog,
Let's see.
I heard you
Hold
like
on.
gimp suits.
You can become mindless, in which if you are a chaos champion, you just become a chaos spawn.
Yeah, you're just fucked.
Imagine you roll that for your attribute.
You're just
Your
dead.
first attribute.
Yeah, you just become a spawn. It's not good.
Let's see. You can have a pinhead.
Which makes you dumber. You can also get multiple heads. If I remember right, Big's character got this one. They started, and he had a habit of basically having them make out with each other.
A pointed head.
If you were wondering, it's because as a
Oh,
Zinchian
no.
caster, they weren't exactly the sanest.
Let's see.
I
Pseudo
already
Daemon
just had a
HUD.
terrible idea, which is could you become SpongeBob and Patrick? The
You
Chaos
can.
Champions.
No, think about it. You get a second head, but you also lost your head. You became headless, so you gained a first head back. It gains pinhead. So I'm just envisioning.
Ooh, you're calling.
No, I'm just envisioning, you kick in the door of the chaos where it's like, all right, Pinhead, your time is up. Who you calling Pinhead? No, I meant these guys, Patrick.
Oh.
Listen, if you think
Oh.
this is too crazy.
You can become.
for...
Listen, you can become a manlet by having short legs.
You can just become a plague bearer, which.
I
Yep.
see. You just become Ben Shapiro.
You also can get pointy heads, so you could just become the cone heads.
Yeah.
You see, my demonic familiar is a doctor.
I am from Bretonia.
Let's see. You can have a Siamese twin. Oh, hold on. No, wait.
Rearranged
Silly
face is pretty
voice.
great.
Wait, silly voice. you become a voice is squeaky, reduces fear points by 1. But then next up, silly walk.
Yeah, the silly walk's pretty great. Oh god, the best part is the silly voice is over the skeleton, so you know they were thinking of Skeletor when they were doing this.
No, because the skull face is right also there as well.
I like to envision it's just like you combine the two, it just makes Skeletor.
So that would be funny. Just 2 Cornate champions, He-Man and Skeletor, fighting each other.
It's over, He-Man. I have the high ground, and I shall lead this warband to destroy to destroy Marienburg.
Oh, also, you get technology again, which means, but with more options. You want a force sword? You want a musket? You want a graviton gun?
No, it's the same one. They just rearranged where it is.
Let's see, what else? Also, different grenades you can get.
I love the bit of art with the smiling, crazy helmeted thing with the minigun, with the laser gun arm. You get telekinesis and teleport.
Yep. Temporal instability,
This one's
tentacles,
bad.
uncontrollable.
Voluntary is no, it's just bad.
No. Uncontrollable flatulence. Roll a d6 every turn. On a 5 or 6, the mutant emits a cloud of gas which lasts for 1d3 turns. 1 to 2 is poison. It's a toughness test. Die if failed.
Yeah. Uncanny resemblance, which it just resembles a member of your gaming group or some other associate. Your mom, dad, wife, boss, or whatever.
See, warp frenzy, in which you roll d6 plus 6 extra attributes.
Oh, this one's fun. Do you want to know why? Because this was the first GIF our Cornate Berserker picked up, which combined with his stretchy arms sometimes turned him into a fucking can opener of rage. Especially when he got his hands on a pair of Daemon weapons.
Stretchy arms is a chaos mutation. Actually sounds kind of neat.
He was basically a slow-witted version of Monkey D. Luffy, just filled with more hate. He also really loved his Juggernaut pet dog.
You can.
He had a doggo.
Yeah, you get a zoological mutation, undergoing in any part of your body, and then finally the last 14 invent your own. And they do actually give examples, such as
if you're wondering, Big Sorcerer did pick up frog traits, which is why we usually depicted his sorcerer with the character Froppy from fucking My Hero Academia.
Like this, such as becoming an amoeba.
I would have just gone with Pepe.
That was actually the original joke. That was supposed to be the original joke, but Biggs never verified what the gender of his character was. So our GM, annoyed because he asked him like 5 times, just wrote F on there.
Congratulations, you are now the one with most degenerate porn of them.
So, next up though is the dominant, which again is just 4 unit. I think we can move
skip
past
that. We covered these.
The same thing.
It's the same thing, just with like more cool art. I don't want to reveal everything quickly, so just
Oh,
the
good,
colors of
because
chaos.
then we need to show you the miniatures.
I want so cool.
First, pay attention.
We can get away with these because these are classics.
To the fiends. What the fuck are those things?
I love the one that's T-posing to assert dominance.
What is that squat-legged, bug-eyed thing?
I love the T-posing on the one on the right here.
Also, the one on the right there, the one with the serpent tail, they were selling that back in 2010. Yes. I know. I had a catalog.
I mean, that's because they've been pretty neglectful for these, at least at times. So these lasted longer
they were
than
really
you thought.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, the Daemon sculpts are all relatively solid, even back.
Oh, that's a Chaos Champion. That one, the one with the like 4 arms. But also tells you how at least good the sculpts were in that they just they abandoned a bunch of this stuff.
Look at this My Little Pony
but they still decided to
sculpt. Fluttershy before the ketamine hits.
but look at those warriors.
You could definitely you could kind of see how you could transplant this over to old Warhammer 40k, because look at those Chaos Warriors.
No, what I mean is that, like, you show this, there would have been, like, probably a few other iterations of the warriors, the ones that they still sell for Old World and the ones that they sell for Sigmar. The designs are still the same. The horned helmets, the curvature of the eye slits, like, it is all the same.
By the way, despite how kind of tacky the color choices are, I much prefer this over the bland, boring shit that Trench Crusade tried to shoot for. There's a reason the only thing I've liked that I've seen from them is the Prussian units, because there's a bit of fucking color on them.
In which, although after this, though, we get an entire 2 pages.
I also really like the poorly placed mounts of Slaanesh characters on them.
Yeah.
One of them's just like, ride him, cowboy.
Yep. Is from none other than John Blanche.
Yep.
Yes,
which he
there's a
literally
ton
is
of
going
John
over the
Blanche art.
basic steps of blending, dry brushing, and how to make, like, these colors. Like, for instance, referencing that you might want to use natural colors for some of the mutations, but obviously don't be like, if you have, like, Tiger, don't simply flash a orange on it. Show the offset, the changes in color.
Essentially, you're
perhaps
not
with-
going to want a pure
Yeah.
orange. You're going to want to muddy it a bit, because tiger colors are not like a bright orange. It's more of a umber.
Like, they reference the idea of using dark green, instead, as an alternative to black, because black can't be shaded. Green gives
Yes,
a little bit of
it's very hard.
versatility.
You have to basically what you do is you throw in a bit of color to lighten it. You throw in a bit of black to darken it, but what you want to do instead is like an umberish color, and then usually like a deep reddish orange or a dark greenish color, because you can then shade with pure black as needed.
Like they say, go for contrast: reds, greens, yellows, and purples.
I've never been the best at shading, but I do know that you don't, like, if you're doing this, you're gonna want to kind of match the lighting.
Pastels. Going with different colors, like for corn, vermilion, crimson, or orange, while pink, pale green, pastel blue, and mauve for Slaanesh.
The more eye searing you can get for Slaanesh, the more accurate you are to the god anyway.
Like this, great.
It's
just
very
great.
useful advice, and this is actually one of the reasons why, if you can get your hands on a copy, if you're into minis, this is actually not a bad guide if you struggle to get your minis to look good.
Yeah. So speaking of minis that don't look good, look at those fucking bloodletters. Holy shit!
Let's take a good look at those bloodletter. There's the Beastmen, the Bloodthirster with their pickle hob.
The bloodletters up top.
Swiggity swooty, they coming for them booties. Look at that. Look at them curved ass spines.
It's lanky, but I want to understand this. They literally look exactly the same that they're selling now. Like just in terms of the shape of everything. The legs, the arms.
The spines are not curved like this anymore, though.
They're not curved, but they do have that, like, spine on it. The different horns, the leering faces.
Because why fuck with what works? This shit sold. Why change it?
It fucking works. But look at that juggernaut as well.
I really like the Bloodthirster. It's kind of a shitpost. Also, the Beastmen of Khorne are great.
And again, the Bloodthirster. I honestly think you can make that exact same stance with the model today.
That juggernaut, not a lot of love was put into this one.
It's just very hard to do, I'd say, at the time.
I just love how flat the colors are compared to the others.
How flat even the colors are today. Like, look at some of the stuff with the painting techniques we'd have. There'd be a lot more saturation.
You say that, but it's still more colorful than a lot of modern, than at least the big new hot thing that's on Kickstarter right now. In fact, actually, no. I'll say this: the reason I like the Prussian stuff from Trench Crusade is it reminds me kind of the Khornates in that it has a lot of the same flat brownish color, but they were smart enough to have pops of others like yellow and blue.
Well, yeah, it's
that's critical.
The thing is,
like,
if you
just do it flat like they expect you to, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
it just
the thing
looks
is,
like shit.
yeah, like what they're doing here, it's always said with a lot of miniature painting, a lot of bright colors. What Trench Crusade and a lot of stuff is doing, they're using a lot of oil paints and a lot of more darker
And it
shades.
looks
So the
like
whole thing is
shit.
darker.
Most of them look like shit. People have to kit bash to make them look better because of that. Like, you can't follow the actual coloring guides because they look terrible when
Like,
you do.
I'd say some people can rock a good John Blanche style, but I think there's a reason why John Blanche's style was usually in like the flat form, a 2D painting rather than a 3D miniature.
I mean, it still kind of works because I've seen examples of people repainting Trench Crusade stuff to look like this sort of era, and it looks better because you know what they do? Like, you know, the bog standard soldiers they got with the hoods to represent that they're
Hmm.
going on crusade. They paint them colors that aren't fucking bland. They add whites and reds to them. You don't need a ton of color, just a pop, because otherwise it just looks like shit. Literally, it looks like diarrhea. I'm not trying to be an
But
ass. I'm just highlighting
no,
like the
no,
color
I could
theory.
agree with that.
The color theory of the
Yeah,
models look like ass.
yeah. So they then give us some more champions, which I have no idea if some of these are still named or referenced in other
Some of them
material.
were. Some of them were.
But
I think
I
several
can
of them were actually straight up killed in end times.
they just feel like something like Oxblood Falgrim. Like I feel like he's just name dropped in some random supplement in 8th edition.
Well, I know some of them have been. I also know some
And
of
of
them were
course a
killed
lot
off
of
in end times.
a lot of these conversions. Oh, there's a looking at the Slanesh ones, there's one with a big white hood. Yeah, I remember seeing that in the 2010 catalog.
In fairness, Lanesh do be like that. It tends to get neglected more.
It was for a long time.
Compared to the Dark Eldar.
Dark Elder also got neglected a long time.
Correct.
I want you to understand, they did not have a third or fourth edition codex. It was near the end of 5th with a model refresh.
Correct. Gilberun the Denied Lord. So this dude basically experienced the consequences of No Nut November.
No, he was an elf.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, that's true as
By the
well.
way, the whole destruction of the Eldar in 40k, that's specifically because Slanesh had a habit of targeting elves because of their beauty and the pursuit of mastery of everything.
Oh, look at some of these other miniatures. Look at that shield with the big nose from the Skeleton
I
Champion.
like the look on Gilberun because it kind of looks like a Hrud.
Just looks so mutated, like you can't even tell that it was originally an elf.
You can't, and I like it. Ilmern the Loose, who basically always knew, like, I was always going to be a degenerate pest.
And he got the hermaphrodism.
Gilelion
And a
the Lewd,
crab arm.
literally the Lewd. Being known as a champion of Slanesh means that you do things more than most.
Except he has a skull-like visage.
You would be surprised at how that can work.
No, you're right, yeah.
Case in point, if you ever want to hate yourself, look up Judge Claude Frollo. Despite being an older man, there is a lot of weird thirst posting made by women about that guy.
I want to scroll down to like the battle scene here, and you can tell how powerful they were trying to make the demons when you realize going up against a greater demon is about 6 or so bloodletters.
Yeah. I also really love these displays. Look at this.
And look at the playtesters there.
They cared.
And the goblin green bases.
They
Barely
cared so
indistinguishable
much.
from the ground they're walking on.
I also really love all these flat banners that represent the gods.
Yep. So many different versions of just champions and everything, and
Oh, hey, look! Early World Eaters. Check them out.
playtesting with a young Rick Priestley and Mike Brunton.
Yep, this is them testing out the World Eaters.
And if you look, you can see at the bottom there, on the left-hand side, I would say that is a noise marine.
It is.
That-
There's two
but
of
then-
them, actually.
Yeah, but then if you look, the battle between the Ultramarines and the Cornate Trader Legion, again, a Land Raider is taller than a Greater Demon.
Also, you like the usage of the beakies, because that is what they used back then.
That is what they only had back then.
Yep.
Oh, also, by the way, the Rocky Horror Picture Show banner for the World Eaters.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah,
Various
look at that.
other legionaries.
Chaos
Oh,
Renegades
interesting
of
enough.
Slaanesh, and more Chaos
Uh,
Renegades.
No, they drop right before that. They reference the different shoulder pads of banner top, shoulder pads bottom, Emperor's Children, banner left, shoulder pads top left. That is the Iron Warriors. The Iron Warriors here are depicted with blue shoulder pads, and the Alpha Legion is with green.
Because this was before their colors were coordinated. Keep in mind, the Salamanders originally had a really ugly green and black color scheme. Not green, yellow and black color scheme, if I remember right.
And they also do here, shoulder pad center, word bearers, with a worm motif, representing the force of chaos gnawing from the inside. I feel like that should be used more.
They don't do it as often as they should.
Yeah. Black Legion, shoulder pads, shoulder pad bottom right.
It's solid black.
Dedicated
they never dedicate anything.
Yep. World Eaters, shoulder pads to the right. Again, the
Night Lords
Corn
prefer
Skullworm.
And the Night Lords prefer the black, red, and black.
Well, actually, I think it's because
Honestly-
they say the shoulder pads left. Oh, they say the Night Lords are dedicated to the Blood God.
Yep, they used to be more cornate originally before they changed them.
Yeah, they changed them more to just generic edgelords. But in general, it's neat to see some of this early stuff and see where it evolved to now, like nearly 50 years later.
I also love just the usage of, because they use watercoloring in this, and I think that's really nice.
Sorry, nearly 40 years later.
Then they're going into more of the hordes of chaos, the demonic legions. This is going into more of how the battles are fought.
Look at the horse skull they installed on this Noise Marine.
Yeah.
It's like a Welsh ghost
Yeah, it's the Welsh Christmas ghost.
that you have to sing to. You have to sing to the Welsh horse ghost because it wants to get in and steal your cakes.
So that
Yep.
so a lot of this is the army list section here. I am gonna see about getting
gonna
more
skip that.
into skip that into the going more into the 40K side of things.
Yeah, we can skip most of this section.
The Dark Millennium.
I know what I can do. Let me use the bookmarks that are on this because that's going to be easier.
Which we get talk about things like the Psychers being in the warp, the power of the Astronomicon.
Also, look at the Tree of Souls. Look at this art that they have for it. I love the surrealism art. I think it reminds me of what's that series of horror stories they used to sell to kids that got banned? Terrifying stories to scare your kids or whatever. It would have like fucked up art like this.
Let's see. They reference the Chaos cults, the different covens rising, the fall of the Eldar
by Mark K. Dunn, which is the most 80s thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Was that is that the one with the guy and his axe wielding woman in the in whatever the fuck
I don't
that is?
know if they're
I mean, that could be
Imperial
Frank
or not.
Frazetta because it'd be like that.
Like I don't know if those are Imperials or not. It's hard to tell with 40K sometimes.
I think these are supposed to be heretics.
Probably. But I do like here they reference with the Black Library
they're a coven.
They're
a coven.
that only few know it.
Actually, these might be early assassins. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, such as the Human Illuminati and the Solitaires of the Eldar Harlequins.
And of course, the Illuminati are referenced and talked about here. This is early lore, which is
because the Emperor
referencing the Sensei.
Yes, the Illuminati know of chaos, the seductive charms of it, and they have the most intimate contact with chaos. They share a mind with one of its servants. But they have survived chaos and achieved a balance that eluded the Eldar. They have mastered the chaos within themselves and now oppose chaos in the broader universe. They seek to prevent the same fall of the Eldar to happen to mankind. They know that if the rise of chaos overtakes humanity's maturity as a psychic species, the universe will be at an end. The fall of the Eldar rocked warp space and reality. The fall of such a numerous, vigorous race as man could bring about the complete merging of two dimensions. And they seek to rejuvenate the Emperor. And by doing so, they use the Sensei, the actual sons of the Emperor, from the many families that the Emperor decided, you know what, I'm going to fuck this woman and then eventually leave her or just stay with her until she dies and abandon my children.
This was originally an explanation for what would eventually become the Perpetuals. Because that's the only
Perpetuals
real
kinda
thing
work-
that you noted, is that they didn't age.
Yeah. The Perpetuals work a little bit better, I think, as
Differently?
a story concept.
I still don't really
Yeah.
care for either, to be blunt.
Right, but the Perpetuals could be anyone, and it gives the Emperor, like, peers
And
and people who knew him before, which is useful from a
so
storytelling perspective.
the Emperor and the Sensei do not know of their relationship. The Inquisition believes that the Sensei are dangerous mutants.
Also, if you
The
are wondering,
Illuminati-
the Emperor was more coherent in earlier editions.
Yeah.
Like, he was an actual
the-
entity, to a degree.
The Illuminati will sacrifice the Sensei up to the Golden Throne to unite the Emperor and the Sensei in the same manner the Emperor has absorbed thousands of Psychers.
Basically, the concept is pretty simple. It happened before, it can happen again. As for Daemons in 40k, Chaos in its many forms, the collapse of the Slime Warp Gates allowed the first infection, Chaos Waste, blah blah blah.
Yeah, how to
It's
how to
different.
use it on tabletop.
The power of Chaos
intrusion.
is neither weaker nor stronger, but its influence is shaped by the relationship between reality and the warp.
They give the idea of, well, if there's an accident in a teleporter, a daemon can arrive with them.
Because they can't manifest in the flesh traditionally, except in gateways from reality.
Or by possessing somebody.
Which is something
which
that can
they do.
also be done in 40k.
They do go in more detail into possession.
I mean fantasy, sorry.
Yeah. They go into more detail in possession. The powers that you have. Oh, go to page 228. Look at that artwork. Look at those Klansmen Marines and those horribly mutated ones.
Daemons and Psychers, because Psychers, being a psychic beacon, are a lot easier to influence. How does a demonic intrusion work? You roll a d100 and note the score, and this is what the summoned daemon will be. You said page 220?
28.
Alright, we're skipping through the teleport accents, fair enough.
Yeah. A lot of this is in-game rules.
I like it, though, because it gives you ideas on what they were starting with. Because this is early 40k.
Early 40k is less of a war game and more of a story game, almost. Like,
and I kind of like it.
The amount of, like, wonky rules and ways that things can go wrong, it's not meant to be like, oh, a super serious tactical. This is like we want to have a bunch of stupid fun. Like, winning isn't really important.
Traditionally, it'd be 3 people. 1 player, the opponent, and the game master.
Yes, there was a game master, and his job was to make it crazier for everyone. Like, oh no, a wild herd of groks has entered the field.
That's unfortunate. You've disrupted the ritual, but the groks have broken free, and several of them are already mutating rapidly because you didn't stop the ritual in time completely.
Honestly, having more games, like tactical war games, with like a random 3rd game master whose entire job is just to fuck with both other players, sounds fun.
It turns out that you're on top. It turns out this ritual is on top of a small orc colony.
Right, just suddenly random 3rd army, weather effects, whatever. Just it can be completely random. You could have like a virtual game master almost, like where you just have like a table of effects.
You just drop your house cat onto the table board. They have summoned the great demon.
They have summoned the Bio Titan.
Confused cat noises.
But then we go to, I'd say the Chaos Renegades.
Oh yeah, I see the fucking. My goodness.
The capoeira. Oh, the British. They had no idea how Americans would view that.
Capirote, actually, and it's not British. It's an Italian. It's a Catholic tradition.
It is, but
It's still really funny.
I believe actually some of the people who developed this game were Catholic. They would have also been European, so they would have more knowledge of that than they would, say, American race relations.
Also, I do love the Chaos Beastmen with like machine guns. It's kind of great.
Yeah.
Possessions and Undead, Chaos Renegades. Oh, there's a nice little Star Battle map that kind of feels like something you'd see in. It's something you'd see in the Heavy Metal magazine, or alternatively a Dark Horse
It
comic.
looks like it looks more like Gundam almost, like the really wonky things.
It's not quite
So
Gundam. It feels like Heavy Metal because they did an adaptation of Alien, and it kind of reminds me of that.
so the Chaos
Cyberdome
Renegades, this is
Beastmen are great.
basically how to do your
Hey,
half the
look!
chaos
Hey,
but
look!
in
There's
40K.
the Inquisitor. There's the Inquisitor Space Marine with his Capirote. Hey, look! There's a squad.
Yep.
Yep, there's a
I want to
SWAT,
point out
there's
your
a
starting
mutant.
profiles. Humans. Adeptus Custodes.
Yeah, you could be a
Yes.
fallen son of. You could be a fallen Emperor guardsman.
Mechanicus
Should we
Arbites
Should we
Astronaut
just knock this
Administration.
out of the way, like right now?
Hmm?
The idea that Custodes could be female is really not that stupid when you consider the amount of gene modifications that they were given.
It is
Well,
not. The execution was the execution
never
that was
The
clarified.
poor.
execution was poor.
We've done
Because
this
here's the
before.
thing.
We've done
Yeah.
this before. So
Yeah, they should have had
basically,
the models
they have
done.
never clarified that they had to only be men. The models were only men because it was just easier. Because
They did-
remember,
well-
they have tried. Remember
Yeah.
early Sisters of Battle models and how fucking horrible they looked.
Yeah. They did state in like some of them, like the 8th and 9th Codex, they did state that it was the sons of the Terran nobility. So they changed that to be children instead of just sons.
But that's like later on. They didn't clarify that
Which is
until during that section.
which is okay. And again,
And sons can
it's-
refer to daughters as well because you usually pick masculine over feminine when you're doing groups.
Yeah.
but
It's like
it's a
It's the
botched
same way.
execution.
It's the same way you can have a female get a Fenris. They're called sons of Fenrir, but like
It's
that's-
just a botched execution, which should have
Yeah.
come with an actual model release.
they should have done a model
Exactly.
release, or what they should have done instead is just highlight. No, we weren't really like we never really retconned anything. Like if you look, and then you show like excerpts of earlier editions where you don't really specify.
Yeah.
Like it's just we
But-
never were able to get the models to look right. And
but-
then that's another thing they could show. Just show an early Sororitas model. Those look
like
fucking awful. And I'm gonna get I'm gonna show you some of those in the Discord. We have a Discord
Yeah.
in link below. They are fucking terrible. Just look them up. Early Warhammer 40K Sororitas models.
But I
They're
want to
terrible.
yeah, go
They
into
look
the
awful.
other renegades you can choose. If you get other, you can be a Tyrannid Chaos Worshipper.
Which is fantastic.
I don't know how. I don't know why.
I love it.
But yes, you can be a Carnifex that then becomes a Daemon Prince.
Well, I can tell you why. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because this is before the Tyrannid hive mind was actually conceived. They were originally an early model concept. Because here's the thing. The Zotes were supposed to be their masters originally. They were the gene
I thought they were
masters.
really. I thought the Zotes were supposed to be like their
or their diplomatic thing. Or actually,
Yeah.
no, originally the Zotes were supposed to play refugees from the galaxy that these guys are attacking, and no one knew what the Tyrannids were supposed to be. They retconned this. But no, you could play a Carnifex as a Daemon Prince, which that also happened. If you've ever heard of the hit story, The All Guardsman Party, a Daemon does possess a Carnifex at one point.
There we go. And then obviously
As a Nid
same
player,
thing.
let me tell you,
Rewards.
I understand Squirrel Killer. I never
No,
really
the
gave
idea-
much of a shit for the Nids, so I don't remember the exact order.
I mean,
of
the
how they came
idea
about.
of a daemon puppeting like a Carnifex corpse around is kind of metal as fuck.
Well, the what happened was it wasn't was it a Carnifex? No, I'm
Whatever.
confusing it. A crew ate a Carnifex and became one, kind of, and then it got possessed.
Okay.
Okay.
It was a Crutifex.
A Carnifex.
But then let's see. They get the Renegade table for
Also,
additional
you can
guys
play
you can get.
Squad, obviously. Ogren. Oh,
Yep.
You can play an Ogren.
Ogren.
Beast
Yep.
Man.
Well, the Chaos Ogren still exist. Beastmen still exist, and the squats are back. Nothing has changed.
Well, the squat's coming back. I'm not a fan of how they went with the Votan designs, but that's just me.
Yeah, I know, but
The
I want you to
ancestors
understand
being
this.
AI is the best concept they had out of that, though.
Quite literally, if you told you could take somebody from this era and be like, yeah, we still have, it's like, how much has changed? Well, let's see. We have
More than
the
you think,
Votan,
but
which are
less
the
than you
squat.
think.
Oh, you have yeah.
Because yeah,
Ogren.
weren't the Primarchs still running around in first edition Rogue Trader?
In first edition Rogue
No,
Traders, it was
no. Well,
it was hinted that some of them might be. They never really
Yeah.
talked about them though,
But speaking of the Trader
because that's
Legions,
way beyond you. You're supposed to be a Rogue
hey,
Trader.
Page 240, we get to talk about the Horus Heresy, in which the 9 Space Marine chapters, led by General Horus, who fell on the feral world of Davin, joined a warrior lodge, and then caused such atrocity on Istvan III, which caused the loyal Adeptus from the frigate Eisenstein to head back to Earth. Hey, guess what? Games Workshop, they didn't make shit up for the heresy. It was here all along.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah, you
this
didn't
is
know?
as much effort as they wrote, and I'll be honest, fuck that 50 book long suicide note. I don't care because they botched the ending.
The first 4 books are actually pretty good.
But here's the
I'm not
difference.
gonna
With
sit through the whole thing though. Fuck that.
Here's
don't
here's
sit
the
through the whole
interesting
thing. The ones
yeah.
to read are the first 4 Mechanicum, because Mechanicum is pretty solid.
First Heretic.
The first Heretic is like almost required reading because it's a very
Betrayer.
interesting look at them. Betrayer is the continuation of that, and then after that, like, fuck it. Don't oh, no fear.
No fears. Oh, yeah.
You almost have to do no fear because the Battle of Calth is very well portrayed.
And then pick your chapter. Pick your favorite chapter.
Pick your chapter, follow their storyline. Doesn't really
if you
matter.
want, if you also, what was the one where the Iron Warriors were playing Warhammer 40k?
You don't need to read the whole
don't
fucking
know.
book to get that bit, dude. Come on.
I just find the bit.
Yeah,
but
just find the
I
book
want you to
bit and
understand
read
here
it because it's pretty good.
with the pacification of Istvan 5, only 5 Space Marines survived from the Loyalists.
Oh, speaking
Yeah, they
of which,
go
fun
really
fact.
hard on that one.
Speaking of which, here's a shitpost. White Scar was one word.
White Scar, and the Imperial Fists were the only ones on Terra.
Yep.
And then we get the Emperor.
Honest,
Yeah.
You could try to sell me that 50 book monstrosity. I think I would just prefer reading this short thing, honestly.
You'd actually probably like the Flight of the Eisenstein.
That's a fun.
I would like some of it, but like I said, the bloat just turns me on. I don't ever even.
The bloat was a problem. Yeah.
I also just
Fulgrim.
don't have
Fulgrim's
any interest in.
Yep.
Oh wait, there is one. There is
retreated.
one thing. There is one thing though in this book that'll be really funny. This is before they reworked how Fabius Bile works, so he goes full yes, Slanesh, yes.
Well, he's also listed as a lieutenant commander, which he never was.
Correct.
But then they bring up the Trader Legionaries, the Ordo Malleus,
which is it's the part of the Inquisition that deals with this shit.
Yep.
And unlike most of the Inquisition, this is the only one that has an organized unit, and you actually see some what looks to be Grey Knights.
And the Grey Knights, which they are listed as a 3rd founding unit, and by the Emperor's instruction, designated Chapter 666. Here's the difference, though. They are just ordinary Space Marines.
Correct, and I prefer them this way. I mean, I kind of prefer them this way. You know what I mean? Where it's like where they've been elevated is nonsense, but
and then kind of irrelevant because
my main thing is
I prefer them to be more like Death Watch, to be honest.
The Exorcists are a better take on the Grey Knights, where the idea is that it's
Correct.
all right. They've been partially possessed and then expurged, so that way they're more immune to demonic possession.
Exorcists, Sisters of Silence, I much prefer them over Grey Knights.
Yeah,
the Grey Knights can be okay. The problem is that
they have. Yeah, we have given. They do give their weapon the good Psi Cannon.
Yep.
And here's the Dark Millennium Army lists.
Which I do want to go over the Dark Millennium Army list just to see, again, how much has not fucking changed. Like, for instance, the Dreadnoughts.
Also, Tech Marines are still here.
around.
Well, no, the Dreadnoughts. The Contemptor, the Deredeo, and the Furibundus.
Yes, they had all of the old Dreadnought patterns are basically from first edition. They brought them back for the Horus Heresy line.
By the way, you know what
Oh!
I really like? Look at this
the
heavily
robot.
modified Luger that has a banana clip attached to it.
What do you mean?
Oh,
That's a
fun one.
Baroque weapon.
No, this is legitimately. If you've ever seen a Luger design, that's what it's basing
Yeah.
itself on.
The robots.
The difference is they modified what seems to be a C96 Mauser's front block, where you would put the magazine, and turn it into a banana clip.
Well, then we have the robots. You know, that we would actually later get.
The Imperial Stasis Field, which I just love that it's a gun shield.
Oh wait, are we gonna be going to the Chaos robots, because that's the
No,
original inspiration for the...
not that. No, those are in a different book.
I forgot
support weapons,
how good the Chaos Armor looked in 40K. Look at this.
The Rapier, the Tarantula, all this shit is still around. But
Jump
the World
jets.
Eater, they give us the World Eater list. Interesting enough.
I'm just
And they
staring
bring
at
up
the art at this
yeah.
point, because this is the thing I'm
Yeah.
kind of attracted to here.
Well, they bring up that, yes, they used the psychosurgery, but the Imperium did not like it. But then they rebelled. Their units claimed that it was they, and not the Sons of Horus, who first breached the walls of the Outer Palace, and they're wrong. It was a Night Lord.
By the way, the take on the World Eaters I also like, because here's the thing. They regard themselves as first founding Space Marines, and the reason they went rogue is specifically because they saw every other chapter founded after the first batch to be a bunch of decadent, weak-willed bitches.
I like this, though, here. Many officers gave themselves to possessing daemons long ago. And this explains why they have the Cornate 8-bound. These guys were possessed by daemons.
Well, I mean, they're barely capable of thought. The daemons have to do most of the heavy lifting for them.
And they obviously say that the original colors were white and blue.
Correct. That has never changed. Theirs is actually one of the few paint schemes that never changed.
Yeah. But I want to point this out. They have librarians.
They also have any number of beastmen slaves.
No. They have psychers.
Yes, they do.
Except instead, they do not use psychic powers, and they must renounce them. And instead, they serve as tally keepers, recording the numbers slain in Khorne's name by squads and individuals.
I think they also take some
Games
of the
Workshop,
role of a tech marine.
Yeah, they have tech marines though. Though Games Workshop, why the fuck have you not added this to their army?
Because they don't care. By the way,
they will.
Speaking of obsolescent, check out a role that you don't see often anymore: Lieutenant.
No, you do.
No. Guess what
They
came
brought
back?
those back?
Yes,
they brought those
they
back.
brought it back with the Primaris. Again, nothing has fucking changed in this setting.
Well, I mean, the moment you bring
Not
up
even the Primaris have fucking changed. No, they brought back the Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Like that. Everyone was bitching, like, why do we need that?
Everyone was bitching about that. Why do you need a lieutenant rank? That was part of the original structure, my guy.
I'm aware. I just don't give a shit because it's tied to one of the worst things they ever did, which was the Primaris.
Oh no, the Primaris were not one of the worst things they ever did.
No, that was 7th
Have
edition.
you read the 5th edition Grey Knights Codex?
No, because why do I want to
Have you
hurt
read
myself?
the most recent Grey Knights Codex?
Why would I waste hundreds of dollars on something I would just get bodied in, lose my patience with, and just stop fucking painting?
You can read the text of the Codex online at this point, basically.
I'm aware.
The main.
But why would I?
Yeah. Have you read the End Times? Have you read not the first edition of Age of Sigmar, but the free books they came out with, allowing you to
For the
play
rule changes?
Yes.
Have you read all of Racial Holy War? Have you read all of World of Cinnabar? Why the fuck would I want to?
Because you need to know.
You
need to know our pain and suffering.
No, I bloody don't. I've already had to deal with that with how they handled fantasy. Why do you think I'll never forgive them for Sigmar?
Because embrace the pain.
No,
It is a good pain.
no.
It's a good pain. I feel the
But-
warp overtaking me.
Oh.
But we do have the Emperor's Children, in which they do bring up accident during gene seeding almost destroyed the chapter.
This is one of a lot of the stuff never really changed. It was just expanded on. Yep.
Took part in little fighting and instead butchering and slaughtering the people of Earth to turn them into drugs. Killing the, stealing and destroying the clone of Horus.
Oh my god, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yes.
they did that.
Yeah.
Basically, the
So
Black Legion tried to clone Horus.
I was about to
Well,
say,
no.
Fabius
They,
Biles-
they don't say it's Fabius Biles or anything. It's just that the Sons of Horus tried to clone him, and then the Emperor's Children, raided
Don't
and
clone.
took their yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Trazen, you could do the funniest fucking thing right now.
No, he's got the clone of Fulgrim.
Yeah, but having a clone of Horus would be also really funny.
No. Here's the thing. He actually has clones of most of the Primarchs in his collection. GW is just waiting for the release them button for the pay pigs.
So,
I mean, we got the
Ye-
lion back, and I'm kind of happy about that one.
Yeah.
But
and again, we have Lieutenant Commander, Lieutenant. We do have Fabius Biles quote here. Follow me, my children, and the glory of victory shall be yours. We shall cleanse ourselves from the crimson waters of our enemy. We shall bring the ecstasy of quick release to those who stand before us. We shall give bloody praise to the Lord of Pleasure, and sing his name as we dance across the fallen. Follow me, my children. You shall taste the undreamt joys that lie beyond the bounds of mortal sense.
honestly, the change to Fabius to be like I'm totally not a follower of Slaanesh, guys, is kind of funny because it's very obvious that he is, and he's just in complete denial about it.
Also, for the fact that he is not a lieutenant commander. Also,
Yeah.
fun fact: any number of personalities may ride mounts of Slaanesh at a cost of 20 points each.
So we could put Fabius Bile on a mount.
Yes.
He can be riding a horse.
You guys are happy with the lion, but from NDR, we got the lion and no one cared.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, at that point, it was sort of expected that we'd get another Loyalist Primarch back, and it was just sort of a question of who. I like having the lion back. The lion's a fun character.
He is.
It also means
Because he literally told all of his he literally forgave all of his traitor sons. Because, like, wait a minute.
yeah, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. You're
My
no longer
bad.
the fallen. You are
The Risen.
the risen. Riz
Brother.
on, my friends.
That sucks,
Brother,
but you know what
help
I'm
me.
envisioning
I've
though?
fallen.
You don't understand when both sides of them are about to kill each other and both of them are begging forgiveness. He does that Japanese thing where it taps the hands on the head, his tongue's out.
Oh, that, yeah. Why did you blow up Caliban, lion? Bleh, like that. Yeah.
And
no.
though here's something else here with the Black Legion, created as the Luna Wolves. The Emperor changed them to the Sons of Horus after the Ulnor Crusade.
Kinda accurate.
Then, during the first centuries of their exile, they were the most combative. They worship one chaos power after another, changed their loyalty.
This is actually kind of funny because it highlights that at the end of the day, the Sons of Horus and Black Legion kind of suck.
Oh, yeah.
But then the War Master's body was removed and cloned, much to the disgust of the remaining sons. Denied their War Master, the sons rejected his name and their chapter title and painted their armor predominantly black. In the Lightning Raid, the new Black Legion destroyed the War Master's body and fled into a further exile. And they live on a single space
Which is
hull.
where they pivoted it to it being an Emperor's Children
Yeah.
gambit. That's where they pivoted
during the
it.
And interesting, during the Ultramarines operation against the Tyranid Hive Fleet Behemoth, for example, a Black Legion helmet was found by a combat ship clearance scholar. Inquisition scholars are still divided on the significance of this discovery. And yes, they do here.
The Tyranids.
The Black Legion lacks the manpower of other legions, and so their characters have to learn to use their troops to the best effect. Which, no, they fucking don't. They're the largest.
The 13 sieges of Cadia would disagree with that.
They're the largest.
It wasn't 13 sieges, Acadia. It was more like 50. But most of those are like minor sieges, like Abaddon's going golfing on the weekend.
And
trying to take
many of them were not on Cadia.
Yeah. When I'm saying like 50 sieges of Cadia, it's because there were attacks on Cadia outside of the Black Crusades. It's
Also,
just you wouldn't really call them sieges.
I want to point out here, and this is interesting with the Chaos armies, is that they are 1-to-1 to the Space Marines. Tactical
Yeah.
squads, assault squads, devastators.
Well, yeah, no shit. They were formed from
We-
Space Marine legions. Dude.
Yes, but we don't get at this point the
custom
divergence, like the
yeah.
Raptors or the Havocs.
The
why
special
would you?
fun names to help distinguish them. Yeah.
Well, then we get the Ordo Malleus.
By the way, Squirrel Killer is spot on. The planet destroyed was broken first, and it wasn't because of the guard is just that tough. It's because Abaddon is that much of a flipper-handed fucking failure.
He threw a
A
Blackstone fortress
Yeah.
at the fucking planet.
He's just that
He
much
was
of
that
a fuck
mad.
up.
He was that mad. He's just like, "Nyeh."
I don't know what's
With
more
the-
pathetic, the fact that it took him that long to just do that, or the fact that the moment he did, the Imperium just rolled over like a rotting carcass and said, "Please destroy me harder, Daddy Horus."
I like that.
No.
I like that all of these soldiers, they all just come with a bolt pistol or a knife.
Yeah, they don't even have bolters.
Yeah, here's the Ordo
Well,
Malleus
no,
army list.
they can have those options. They can swap.
I like how the Daemon Hunters just have a fucking, like a weird version of the conical hat, or is that supposed to be a beret?
I think that's a hat.
It's some kind of hat.
I like it though, it's weird. I'll be honest, I much prefer the Corvus helmets over the new ones.
Yeah, again, this is way before they ever got they were all psychers.
I much prefer the Corvus helmets, by the way.
Yeah,
like
the beaky helms are really classic. The funniest thing about them is that they'd actually be rather protective. It's the same principle that you had the bastonet of the medieval era.
Bastonet
the
and the
pointy
type
face.
of helmet,
Yeah.
I much
it's
prefer
actually
it.
really good at deflecting blows towards the face by edged weapons. So yeah, it'd actually be pretty protective, and you consider that this is Space Marine combat is taking place often hand to hand in 40K.
Then their additional forces they can get though are Arbitrace, Guard, and other Marines.
Yeah, I just prefer beaky. I just prefer the Corvus armor in general.
But
it looks better.
Yep, that is the list. That is the entire first book of Realm of Chaos. We can instead join a whole bunch of other books, such as
beautiful 2-page spread. And here's some other books like Death on the Reich, Warhammer Campaign, Power
Warhammer
Behind
City,
the Throne,
Warhammer Siege.
There's a lot of options.
And a polystyrene castle kit.
For something rotten in Kislev. That one's fun because that actually works with the law gods, and it basically is the thing that kills them as a relevant force. It also deals with Nikoho of all things. Abaddon tastes the same as another spicy human, just with more bitterness from all the failure. This message is brought to you by the Nid Hive Mind. Please cook yourself medium rare. Here's some more daemons. It just ends with a great unclean one. And here's they also advertised their Citadel catalog, White Dwarf. I think it ends on a pretty positive note.
This is a classic book. It is. There's no other way to put this but this era of Warhammer having its own kitschy charm, because knowing when it becomes later, this is much different. It's almost like a breath of fresh air to see it now.
Yeah, it is. At the same time, though, like, where are these things in the world? Like, there's a lack of sense of where they are in the world. I guess the best thing to point to it is, like, early Star Wars, when they're giving the names of these planets, and we don't have a map of the galaxy.
The best way to describe it is, this is what I think Trench Crusade tried to be. Where, you know, since it's just starting out, there's not a lot of new lore for this, so they're just kind of trying to work with it. And you can see that because, like, yeah, they have an outline for how the emperor, how the emperor is basically a corpse on a throne and everything. Like, all the basics are there, but it's just all you need to explain why you're doing these army bits. It's more along the lines of if you've ever looked at old TSR modules, like this is like the equivalent of going through Greyhawk, where you incidentally pick up a bit of the lore. It's not a big dominating thing.
And again, just the understanding of chaos, where it is this corruptive force based on these certain emotions or certain feelings
Which admittedly
that
isn't that unique, given that's
it,
essentially they
no,
got it from Moorcock and, well, Glorantha, but they just kind of
I guess
codified
what
it here.
really is different though is the whole path to chaos. That you will follow this path, you will be corrupted and changed by the
Not as
mutating
unique as you
force.
think. Michael Moorcock did that a lot in his books. This is
Did he
just the
make an
first game to
RPG?
do that.
Well, did he make an RPG and a miniature game out of it?
No fucking shit he did,
No,
because look
but
at what they stole from him.
funny enough, there is in fact an Eric of Melbourne game based on the RuneQuest rules that was released in the 80s.
Correct.
But did they make miniatures?
Yeah.
Probably.
I bet you Games Workshop made a few of those miniatures, actually.
But now do they have miniatures such as the wonderful Sloppity Bile Piper?
Sloppity Bile Piper.
Sloppity Bile Piper, yep. The Nurglings. Horticulus Slime Mucks.
This is
Pyro's Fate
I'm just
Weaver.
highlighting that this is a key to the cosmology of the world of Warhammer, and it's kind of the culmination of borrowing from other influences that Games Workshop at the time worked with. And this is both for good and for ill, because this is beautiful, but it should be noted there's a reason they have never modified the mutation table after they created it literally almost 40 years ago. You can say it ain't broke, so don't fix it, but it kind of highlights that it's kind of dominated by what it had early on. And while that's nice,
sometimes it's
because it's
like
not a problem, that's not necessarily a problem. But you can
No,
see why it's choking itself to death on trying to cover more.
But it's just interesting. As I was reading through this, it's just like how much, again, is still there.
But also how much of it was changed, because remember, orcs used to not be fungus.
Well, they didn't
weren't.
state that
No,
they.
they
Yeah,
weren't. Earliest from
you're right.
Warhammer Fantasy, no, they were not.
But they were green-skinned, or they were green-skinned foul parodies of sports hooligans.
A little
Like
bit of that, a little bit.
they've developed, they've changed things, but
No, the hooligan thing was only incidental. It was part of their charm. This was before they codified
they were
them as
supposed to
that.
speak like Cockneys, basically.
They had the
That was one of
Cockney
things at the
accent, but they
beginning.
were treated more like bumbling German barbarians originally.
Yeah, they were treated
But I guess, yeah,
basically like
Compared to like Asterix, with the like the invading
Yeah.
barbarians. That's what they were more like.
the other things.
Although don't get me wrong,
just,
they were codified really early. How early? We're talking like their personalities were basically set by second edition.
I'd say, then I think that's the right word here. Codified. This is before things get codified.
Oh no, this is right when it's starting to get codified.
Or yeah, or I guess because
this
I
is
see
where
here,
they're committing to the. This is where they're committing to the minis. This is where they're really starting to commit to. Like, they're not doing the role playing. They're starting to license that out elsewhere. This is when Rogue Trader was starting to become second edition. Not quite. It wasn't there yet, but Rogue Trader's been out, and it will become second edition very soon. This is where what you know, and this is where what you spent hundreds of dollars on, more if you need the new models, went into.
Yes. And I haven't regretted it.
Also, yes, they did mention female orcs at a point. That is true, because they were originally not fungus creatures that spawned that way. They were supposed to be the equivalent of that. The reason they made them fungus, besides sucking at making female characters, they just do. They suck at making them in terms of models. It was just mainly because it explained why there were so many of them. You killed like 20,000 orcs. Like, how are there still fucking more of them? It's like they spawn out of nowhere. Hey lads, get more wood. We gotta feed the nest. Although the female orcs still exist because they are still around as the Blood Bowl cheerleaders.
Yep. Again,
Yep.
nothing has
They have,
fucking
hair-
changed.
They have hair squigs and everything.
Yep.
Here.
Those are still
But
canon, by the way, which I think
Yep.
is wonderful.
that's the other thing. I like when a setting still keeps to some of the silliness and some of the old stuff, and it's either recontextualizes it or just goes with the flow. It exists.
Some of
It's
40K
starting to pivot
becoming
back
more
from that, but
serious.
40K had a habit where they were kind of trying to ignore that for the longest time.
Yeah, 40K for a long time decided to become very serious, very grim. And then after I would say that the real turning point was around like 8th to 9th edition, and where they've started to relax a little bit with some of this stuff because they're like, you know what, we nearly had a disaster on our hands in terms of
We almost
management.
rendered all of our IP dead because our owner was a
Yes.
fucking moron.
Yes. So why don't we just take a step back and start to look at some of the funnier stuff?
I will, however,
given
state
us-
that they're still making mistakes. I personally
Oh,
think
yeah.
that they're still blaming the audience for things that they're not advertising. Like they don't
Now, that
advertise,
being
it
s-
sells like shit. They stop selling it, and then they get angry when fans complain, like, "Well, you didn't buy it." It's like Dark Side Phil logic, you know?
well, yeah, but no, one of the things
They're
that
still
I
guilty
do
of that.
appreciate. Can you let me finish here?
Yes.
One of the things I do appreciate is that a lot of the Warhammer writing has they've opened up the Black Library a bit to a bunch of new authors, and some of them have been absolutely fantastic. If you have not read The Infinite and the Divine yet, I do recommend reading it. Even if you're not super into 40K, it's genuinely one of the better written science fiction books of like the last 5 years. It is hilarious.
Slim pickings, given how fucked sci-fi is as a genre. But I'm joking. It's probably
Yeah.
pretty darn good. The Black Library, it has stinkers, but it's consistently been pretty good. There's a reason they still publish a lot. Speaking of bad Black Library books, remember when they did the Kids Adventures books?
The Kids Adventures books are one of the ones from like there was an idea, and it's not a terrible
Yeah,
one.
it's not, but
I
it's
would
it's
play it as a
not.
parody of the Magic School Bus, where you have the
Yeah.
Adeptus Mechanicus
They
in the role
should
of
have.
Miss Frizzle.
No. I've got an idea here. In 10 years, they need to release models of these people as adults.
That'd be funny, but
I
I'm
knew you were about to
envisioning
say
more
that.
like you get the Adeptus Mechanicus as like a crazy Miss Frizzle, and it's like it's a kid's book learning about the setting, and then it just randomly goes into weird dark comedy shitpost energy. Like
That could have been great. I mean, The Infinite and the Divine kind of is dark comedy shitpost at a lot of the times because it's
and the running gag is I'd have at every book like you have a kid introduced, but they get eaten by or
they get
destroyed or
eaten by
killed. Not all of them, but just like one or two that are not
well, they can't
regulars.
do that. It's for like little kids, so they're not going to do that.
Well, no,
But,
it'll be like the teacher from the Black Lagoon series, where it's just like it's comical violence, where you don't see blood. It's just, oh no, they got eaten by a Carnifex, and you just see like a fat T-Rex looking insect monster going yummy, tasty, with like the kid's shoe in its mouth.
I mean, they could do that, but that
like
would
just
that,
comical. You
that's
go
more
comical
effort.
with
But
it.
yeah, no, Infinite and Divine. I highly recommend it. It is it is two old arguing men on a road trip. It is kind of amazing. I'm not joking. It's basically
Listen, there's a great scene where they're doing Necron Court,
yes.
and
It's
well,
amazing.
here's the thing: the court is like it could be centuries long because they could just wait it out. They're immortal. Actually, no, that was also the same thing for their plays. Their plays go
Yes.
on for years.
Yes. And the thing about the court,
I'm just now envisioning the kid adventure version of it, where the Miss Frizzle stand-in takes them to see a Necron play, and you just see them
it's just,
actually
like,
turn into
slow
adults.
movement. Yeah.
Like it just
But
cuts
no,
to like a couple pages where they age up, and
No, like the entire court scene is just brilliant. We should not spoil it.
We're not spoiling it,
don't spoil
but it's
it.
an interesting take on court drama. Let me tell you that.
It's a really funny take on court drama.
If you can get your hands on a copy fair and square, I would recommend getting a copy of Realm of Chaos. They do occasionally sell it in like Warhammer World. You can get it at stores occasionally as reprints. If you
Yes,
can't, you can get it
a
on
lot of
eBay, and if you can't afford the $200, well, maybe you'll find it in a dumpster. It's a pretty old book.
yeah. I
Or an
wish
eye.
they'd reprint the Liber Chaotica.
They have as well, I think.
Oh, they have.
They
Oh man, I'm
have,
gonna
but
have to
it's
buy a
kind of a
copy of
pain
that.
in the ass to get your hands
Listen,
on still.
listen. Every Sunday, just look at the Warhammer community page, and it will tell you what they're want you to buy for the next week or two.
You can sometimes get lucky. They occasionally just respool some of the. This is one of the ones that's kind of a pain. The Chaos one's kind of a pain. It's sequel book that we'll cover not next week because I do want a bit of a chaser in between. That'll be something that you can sometimes get. They've reprinted that.
Well, what will the chaser be then?
Let's see. We haven't covered Delta Green in a while. We haven't covered
We
Call of
haven't
Cthulhu
actually.
all that much, really.
We covered the Dreamlands recently, so
True, so maybe not that one.
What about a world?
a
What type of
world
world?
of something.
Cinnamon?
Are you talking about
Yeah, why
World of
not like a
Cinnabar?
spicy world?
Oh, you really want to do World of Cinnabar? You know what? Screw it. Why not? World of
Why
Cinnabar.
not? I mean, it's close to our anniversary, isn't it?
I think so. Also, on top of that, well, congratulations and thanks for the subs. We're almost at 400.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'll treat it as the
400th.
375th. No, I'll treat it as the 375th subscriber special. The World of
World
Cinnabar.
of Cinnabar, everyone.
I'm still saying Waterworld, the TTRPG.
I don't have a copy of that.
When we find a
There was
copy, we'll review
tabletop
it.
game of that. Like
There was.
genuine
I don't know.
there's-
I have the Pirates of Dark Water RPG. I don't have that one. There was a Waterworld board game that I actually played, and that one was also pretty fun.
It's a pity we can't really do Blood Dim Tides because of the art in that book, but that one's another.
It's more
fun one
that
to look
I
at.
don't know how to edit PDFs.
I know how to edit PDFs. It would just be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So yeah, next week World of Cinnabar. It'll probably be second edition because the scans for first edition kind of terrible, kind of really fucking bad actually.
Sorry, I'm just remembering World of Cinnabar from what little I've skimmed of it, and I'm like,
It's
oh,
not
this is
as
gonna be a
bad as
fucking
you
trip.
think compared to
It's
the
not
wonder
as
that
bad.
is Fatal.
It's
But
not.
holy shit, is it excessive?
It is designed
Exactly.
poorly. It is designed poorly.
Its
The
design
concept
is
is
terrible.
good, where you're 50,000
I
years
want-
off of Mars, but it is not a fun game to play.
Okay, on the contrary, I think that if you got the guy, the creator, and you had him in a room and you had him run this, it would be an amazing.
No, like
time.
understanding the system is the painful part. That's the
Right.
problem.
I think you would have an amazing time if the creator of this GM'd a game of it for you.
Like it's not as terrible as people It's not as terrible as people think. It is just a pain in the ass to understand the mechanics.
It's in that the trio of bad RPGs in terms of design.
But it's not the
it's
racist
not
one, or it's
Fatal
not the
bad.
rapist one.
It's not Fatal bad, and it's not. You literally can't even play it like Racial
It's just
Holy War.
incomprehensible, kind of like
I mean, you already fucked up when you have a 3-column style of it. We're getting into the weeds, but basically, in short, World of Cinnabar, it's not going to be fun, or maybe it might be fun.
It's going to be a trip.
So with that in mind, see you everyone.
Good night, and remember, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.